Greetings, everyone. Welcome to a very, very special stream. Today's the day we, at long last, play this game. I have been waiting 13 years, around 13 years to play this game. I never could play it because it was never in the Americas, and I didn't want to do any fan translated thing. So, at long last, I'm finally starting this game. Oh man, I am hyped. I am ready, and I'm excited. I know not of what this game is about. I know some characters who are in it. I don't remember who exactly, but we'll have to see. Hey, Captain Chips. You are prepared. I hope so. I hope I am. How you doing? Let me get in my chat room real quick. I will say this, guys. The long 13-year wait ends now. It's begun. It's happening. Turnabout trigger. Let's friggin' go! Here he comes. The presidential plane descends from the western skies, making a final approach. Lands right on Gourd Lake. Oh, Gourd Lake makes a return. Gourd Lake returns, guys. Gourd Lake is a returning character. Just listen to that crowd. Welcome, Zhang Fa. Welcome, Mr. President. Zhang Fa. And now, sir, your audience awaits. Is the volume good, guys? Honored friends and allies, I am here today to deliver a message. The odious criminals that dog my beloved nation are no more, thanks to the prosecutor's office of your great country. Uh-oh. You have our most heartfelt gratitude. However, friends, do not forget, the battle against evil rages on. Here today, I make you this solemn promise. We shall crush the wicked with the righteous hammer of justice. Oh no. Ah! That guy done got dead, maybe. Call the prosecutor's office. Get Miles Edgeworth here right away. If anyone can solve this, he can. Oh, there's the pose. The man looks ripped. He was ripped. Oh my gosh. Well, here we go, guys. We're going in this blind. I've never seen any of this before. Let's see how it goes. There he is. The news must be halfway around the world already. It's Gumshoe! After all, it's not every day an attempt is made on the life of a nation's president. Oh, this is aging very weirdly right now. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor. I came as soon as I got the call. The moment the phone rang, I knew it was serious. Edgy's sense of dress has always been impeccable. The best. The bestest. Mr. Edgeworth! Thank goodness you're here, sir. This is Dick Gumshoe, a detective with the local precinct. He's the one usually assigned to my cases. How is the president, detective? We still don't know, Mr. Edgeworth. The medics just boarded the plane a few minutes ago. I see. I hope he's alright. Then I suppose you'd better show me the scene of the crime instead. Right away, sir. Hey, I said hey! Yeah, you, Ruffles! Who said that? Who's that? You're the prosecutor in charge of this here case, ain't ya? What you wanna give me your first impressions? Anything strike y'all as odd? No comment. Detective Gumshoe, with me. Who's this pipsqueak? Come on now, Mr. Prosecutor, don't be like that. Mr. Edgeworth, wait for me! Now, Detective, I'll need the facts of the case in as much detail as you can give me. Well, the scene was right here at Gourd Lake, as you already know. A bunch of people were gathered to welcome the president of Zhengfa. Not Doctor. Di Junwang. Di Junwang. Yes, I read about his visit. It's been all over the news for days now. Special report about President Di Junwang, or Dai Junwang. Bro looks like a lion. He does. That's the most lion dude I've ever seen. It was raining until just before he landed. Luckily it let up and he went on stage as planned. And then smack dab in the middle of his speech, bang! A gun goes off and everyone runs for cover, terrified for their lives. Apparently. D-Jun Mustard? Fun. Funny. Apparently. Truth is, I only just showed up myself. I don't know a whole lot more than you do, sir. You were summoned on short notice as well? Sure was. Right in the middle of my day off. I was at the office taking advantage of the peace and quiet to prepare for my next case. Then the boss himself calls you to the scene. Never a dull moment, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? The boss? Yeah, chief prosecutor was right here in the park. Saw the whole thing. First chance he got, he yelled at the top of his lungs, "Get me Edgeworth right away. He's the only man for the job." Something like that. I see. Oh, they cordoned the perimeter of the park off as soon as it happened. You'll be safe to know. So, our would-be assassin is still here somewhere. Good. Now all you gotta do is find him in the middle of that crowd before they strike again. That guy there was moving strangely. I think it's him. Actually, wait a minute. This guy. It was a joint operation. It was 2 people that killed him. You're right. We don't know what else our culprit might be planning. These people are in danger. We don't have a moment to lose. Let's begin with the basics and search every inch of the crime scene for clues, no matter how insignificant they may seem. Precisely. The president was shot at, which means a gun was involved. That's our first clue. Good God, twin capers. Who would have seen it? Who would have thunk? There's 2 other twins up there, too. Detective Gumshoe, how exactly was the security detail surrounding the president's speech organized? Well, sir, our officers were mainly focused on securing the perimeter of the park. The president's people took charge of the rest. He has his own research team of bodyguards. See those guys over there? Maybe we should ask them a few questions. If I want to talk with them, I'll need to walk over and press A. Wait, am I in a video game? Sir, the president's bodyguards are in the front of the plane. Ah, so they are. I should walk up to the bodyguards and press A to talk to them. Can I help you? You're one of the president's bodyguards, correct? Could you tell me how his security detail was arranged during the speech? 2 of our senior operatives were attached to the president. The rest secured the stage. This isn't our first rodeo. Anything suspicious in that crowd and we would have spotted it right away. I see. So the president's security was tightly orchestrated for the duration of his speech. Let's investigate further. We should speak with the other witnesses and continue to look over the crime scene. You can't afford to leave any stone unturned. So that's how y'all go about it, huh? Sure is something seeing the pros at work. Care to share a little about what happens to that information once you got a hold of it? Bystanders. This one seems persistent, but I can afford to get distracted. Hey, Ruffles, I asked you a question, dang it. What happens next? Well, we put all the information together and try to find connections, right, sir? Detective! Aw, don't be so hard on the poor guy. So, connections, you say? And what next? Well, I guess you'd say we connect the dots, connect one piece of information to another. It's Mr. Edgeworth's forte. He's a logic master. I can view what information I have with L, and then connect them with X. I should try it now. Just a quick press of L, and we'll be off down the path of logic. Okay. President was shot at, and the president's security detail was looking. Despite the president's tight security, the perpetrators still managed to carry out their attack. completely undetected by the contingent of highly trained bodyguards, no less. No mean feat. This would have taken some serious planning. In other words, the assassination attempt was almost certainly premeditated. That's the stuff, Mr. Edgeworth. The old logic never fails, huh? Indeed. All we need to do is find the right clues, and then make the right connections between them. Make the wrong connection, however, and we'll only wind up further from the truth. Which means I must make well-reasoned connections if I intend to draw logical conclusions. Let's get this investigation started. Time to examine anything that looks suspicious. To examine things, I simply need to walk up to them and press A. And if I wish to speak with the detective, I should use X. Captain Chips, I'm stuck! What do I do? Anyway, let's speak to the good detective. Yes, sir. Well, the rain stopped, and it was falling right up until the president got here. Even the mist has lifted, barely a cloud in the sky. You sound disappointed, detective. I was supposed to be fishing, right here on this lake, in fact, and the big ones only come out when it's wet. But the park was sealed off for the president's visit. No regular use allowed. You know the rules. Nothing regular about reeling in a whopper, sir. This was gonna be special. I fear our ideas of special might be rather different. Irreconcilably so, in fact. This is what he thinks about at a time like this. Detective Gumshoe, you remember how to properly conduct an investigation, don't you? Sure I do, sir. First off, you gotta gather information on all the intel you can. Examine every nook and cranny, talk to every single witness, both of which I can do with A. And if you get the chance, ask him about the evidence, which means diving into your organizer and presenting it to him. I can open my organizer with R, and present evidence with X. Been with you a while, Mr. Edgeworth. You ought to know this stuff by now. Yes, you ought to. Whoops. That thing's pretty small. You don't lose it all the time. The sacred symbol of my office? No, detective, I do not. Guess it's a good thing I'm no prosecutor, huh? I'd have lost 100 this week alone. I mean, I lose my badge at least that often. Heh. That's quite a talent. Oh, Gumshoe. You card, you. No. Oh, well. It took us how many minutes for the Steel Samurai to be in this in this game? Almost 13 minutes, maybe a bit less. I was as surprised as you, sir, but there's no mistaking it. It's the Steel Samurai. The Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo. It's a popular TV show. Old, young, it doesn't matter. It truly has something for everyone. Beats me why they had a Steel Samurai balloon as a welcome party for a foreign president. It is a little odd, although now that I think about it, what better hero to represent our nation? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. I see something. It's the flag of Zhengfa. The key motif is the blazing red phoenix. Wait, what's this? Something the matter, sir? You don't see it, detective. There's something unusual about this flag. Compare it with the one on the other side of the stage, if you will. Oh, that's a beauty right there. Just look at it flapping in the wind. It's immaculate. Exactly. Which is how a flag should look. And yet, here we see quite a different picture. One thing in particular stands out, don't you think? Hey, Hedgewolf! What's up? How you doing? Welcome to, Ultima's playing a game he's never played before. Is that the Steel Samurai balloon from the last case of the first game? Maybe. It might be, for all we know. Right, of course. It is, I give up. Come on, spill the beans. You can lead a horse to water. I'll just have to move the cursor to the problematic spot and highlight the difference with X. The bullet hole. Look closely. Do you see the hole? What? Look at that. You're right, sir. And note the burn marks around the edges. That's a bullet hole. There's no mistaking it. A bullet hole? So you're saying a bullet went through this flag? But yeah, how have you been, Hedgewolf? It's good to see you here. Breaks your heart, don't it? It does. What villainy could have befallen him? Witnesses said he popped right about when the gun went off, which would strongly suggest that a bullet struck the balloon. I am good, thanks. I'm very happy. I've been waiting 13 years to play this game, Hedgewolf, and that wait is gone. That wait is done. It means we need to know what way the wind was blowing when the man got shot. We'll have to see, yeah. This is a sacrilege. I won't rest until the culprit has been apprehended. Detective, we cannot let this vile assassin escape. We won't, sir. You can count on it. I think I've gathered enough information for the moment. Time to put the pieces together and see what we can figure out. Oh, okay. Better save the game real quick. Oh, gosh darn it. Save it up here. Yeah, I'm excited too. Imagine waiting 13 years to play a game. But it's finally here. So balloon popped and flag with bullet hole. There is a bullet hole in the flag, and it seems highly likely the balloon was popped by a bullet too. Which means 2 shots were fired, right, sir? Possibly even 3. The president was shot at as well, remember? Equally, the hole in the flag and the hole in the balloon could have been made by the same bullet. What we need to know is how many gunshots there were. That was easy. We did it! You think you would run out of patience? Would you try to emulate it? Like what most people did? Alright, on with the Ruffles, Ruffles! Y'all figured something out, huh? Care to share? Who exactly is she, and why does she keep shouting at us? Rubbernecker, I guess. Well, that's racist. Seems pretty interesting. Interested in the case. Come on, give me something here. We do need to speak with some witnesses to find out how many gunshots there were. Fine, let's see if she can tell us anything. There y'all are. Tabby Lloyd, at your service. I'm looking into the case for, well, just for me right now, but... Looking into the case. Miss Lloyd, was it? Miss Lloyd, there was something I'd like to ask you... Well, what can you tell me? Any exclusive details you want to share? How about the perp? Have they made any demands? What about them there, Ruffles? What does a fella buy a cravat like that? Or where does a... Tabloid as in fake news? Oh yeah. Gotta love the tabloids. Will you be quiet for a moment? I'll be asking the questions here. Dang, and here I thought I could get me something juicy for my piece. Need to know about the shooting. Can you tell me how many gunshots you heard? Why, I most certainly cannot. I beg your pardon. I can't just be handing out leads for free. That stuff's my livelihood. Aw, come on, don't hold out on us. We all gotta share sometimes. Me? Hold out on you? Well, if y'all are gonna be like that, I'll be moving right along. Goodbye. What? Wait for what exactly, huh? Huh? If you got nothing on me, I'm gone. We're fresh out of moves here. Out of moves, I wouldn't be so sure. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? As you know, Detective, I like to play a little chess. And what does one do in chess when an opponent adopts a defensive position? Why, the board offers any number of options, but some are more effective than others. Sorry, sir, but this is all going way over my head. No matter how impenetrable an opponent's defense may seem, it can always be overcome. Watch and learn, Detective, as I shatter my opponent's resolve with the power of words. Alright, this must be the gimmick of, this game. She's a tabloid writer, alright. Good griefs. When attempting to draw an entrenched opponent, one must employ certain tactics. Let us picture the board, and see if we can anticipate our adversary's next move. I'm gonna save the game real quick in case things go wrong. Whoa. Now we must analyze the state of play. Y'all ain't getting nothing out of me, not until you give me something in return. My opponent has dug herself in deep. Her defenses won't be easily broken. Pew pew! Yep. Poo-poos. I can't afford to try your patience by taking too long to plot my next move. In other words, I must be conscious not just of my strategy, but also of the passing of time. That said, I can't afford to waste words either. In fact, it can pay dividends not to. My opponent gets too agitated. You're fixing to ask me something, will you? Dang well, ask it already. I may be able to gain a tactical advantage by calmly biding my time. Then, when I see a crack in my opponent's armor, I pounce. I should begin by finding out what it is that she does. Alright, time to make my opening gambit. Alright, now I'll save it. Mind chess. Commence. What is it that you do? Why don't you begin by telling me about what it is that you do? Sure, or I could totally not do that. I don't know when to keep my mouth shut, that's my job. Is it now? So you do something you won't or can't tell anybody about. Shut up, ain't no lawbreaker, if that's what you're insinuating. Bide my time, hiding something. You love the name. It is a good name. I don't know, guys. How would I know, when to do it? Bide your time? I'm a law-abiding everyday citizen, and you got no reason to say otherwise. Forgive me, I meant nothing by it. If it's something you can't tell me about, I imagine it must be very important work indeed. Huh? Well, sure, I guess. Leastways, it will be once I beg me my first big scoop. What was that about scoops? I'm just gonna go for it. Heh. I see. It's a scoop you're after. So you're a journalist, is that correct? Dang. This is like, Psyche Lux. I'm just your friendly neighborhood reporter, the hungriest cub on the beat. That's the mystery of what she does for a living solved. Perhaps our hungry young cub has gathered information vital to the case. Let's make that our next line of inquiry. With the opening moves concluded, the mid-game approaches. What else does she have to tell us? Recording, were you at the scene of the crime? I don't know which one to do. Hey! Trust my gut. You got it. Hey, Mafia, you gonna be lurking because you're sleepy? Dang. Well, thanks for coming. Hope you, restish, wellish. I'll see you soon. You're a reporter, which means you must have been making a record of some kind. You got more questions? You gotta give me something first, that's the deal. I'm not in the habit of making deals. Now tell me what I need to know. Sorry, Ruffles, can't help you. I don't have a clue as to how you push the conversation forward. I'll have to try another tack. I guess here. At the time of the incident, were you present at the scene of the crime? Come on now, Ruffles, you ain't gonna give a little old tabby something first? Absolutely not. And I ain't giving you nothing either. You think I'm a sucker? Think again. Bide my time again, do you think? Come on, this is my career we're talking about here. Gotta give me something. Sadly, the more you know, the more you might find yourself in danger. I ain't scared. I'm a pro. Takes more than the sound of a little gunfire to faze me. You heard gunfire? Nope. Heh. You may be a pro, as you put it, but I'd say you're still a little wet behind the ears. You say you heard gunfire, which proves you were here at the time of the crime. Therefore, you must have seen something. Double dang. Fine, I was here. I saw it. Came to report on the big speech. Wound up reporting on a shooting. And you'll get no more out of me than that. I'm done with your tricks, Ruffles. When they get angry, bide your time. If she came to report on the event, she must have made a record of some kind. Record that I would very much like to get my hands on. This is quite the clue as to where to take the conversation next. Record. You're a reporter, which means you must have been recording. In the habit of doing this, sorry Ruffles can't help you. Time to deploy my clue. By time, I guess. She's not angry now. Hey, partner. This ain't no time for the silent treatment, you hear? I'm a busy woman. Nah, seems I misjudged that one. This is confusing. Oh god. It's more effective to bide my time the more agitated or upset my opponent seems. And once they're vulnerable, it's that time to go on the verbal offensive. So, I guess we do it now. No self-respecting reporter would leave the house without a means of putting things on the record. So tell me, Miss Lloyd, where is yours? Of course I made a record. I told you I'm a pro. Dang near wore my shoes out running around on this one. So I'm not allowed to just hand it over to the first person who asks me. I am not just anyone, young lady. I am the prosecutor in charge of this case. Don't you young lady me. You ain't getting it, no matter how many times you ask. So she's angry. You understand, don't you, Ruffles? It ain't nothing personal. I understand that your job is a difficult one. You do? Well, ain't that sweet. And in such a competitive field, you must sometimes doubt that you'll ever succeed. I'll go plenty far. I'm sure of it. Yeah. Just as long as I got my trusty tape recorder, I'll always be ready to nab me a scoop. Play me the tape. Go, Ultima! Thank you, Hedgewolf. I got this. Hopefully. Intriguing. A young reporter, hungry for success, so dedicated to her craft that to leave such an important event unrecorded would be unthinkable. And indeed she did not. She committed the entire event to tape. Dang, nabbit. This is my scoop you're messing with. My big break. Fine. Sure, I recorded the whole darn thing. It's all right here. You got me, okay? Checkmate. Yeah. That's a little confusing. As someone who is not good at chess and who's never played chess and who hates chess, that's gonna be a rough moment for me. You're something else, Ruffles. I was trying to be all strong and silent, but you had me singing like a canary. Never mind that. Now play us the tape. This should finally tell us how many shots were fired. Fine, you can hear it, but I got conditions. You played me like a fiddle, Ruffles. Only the Chief ever played me so good. So you gotta agree to be Chief number 2 and be a mentor to a rising star, aka me. Chief number 2, huh? Kinda like a second parent. That's a big responsibility, sir. And one more thing, I want exclusive reporting rights for the first 24 hours. Come on, you gotta say yes. What kind of mentor wouldn't give a star pupil the exclusive, huh? She's a difficult woman to refuse, and I need to hear that recording. 24 hours is more than I can promise, but the story's yours until the case is solved. Don't think of it like chess. You're given pretty clear instructions. Well, you gave me the instructions. When they get angry, bide your time. Gotcha. She isn't breaking the law by not turning evidence over to the authorities. We'll see. I don't know anything about that stuff. And the job of Chief number 2? I think not. Gah, you're no fun. But I guess a girl can't have everything. All for the sake of the scoop, huh? Alright, you got yourself a deal. I got exclusive access starting right this second, Ruffles. Good, then our first order of business is to listen to the tape. Kashak! Honored friends and allies, I am here today to deliver a message. The odious criminals that dogged my beloved nation are no more. President's speech. Kashak! The President passionately addresses the assembled crowd, as if trying to shake off the reports of his declining popularity by sheer force of will. That there's me. Can't beat a little live commentary to set the scene. The meeting is scheduled for just after the speech, correct? Seems pretty pleased to be able to put the whole Yatagarasu situation behind him. The Yatagarasu! That was from that one game! What was it called, guys? Oh, I forgot. As well he should be. This is a great day for all of us. Whose voices are those? Oh, there were these two old guys standing right in front of me. They were whispering away to each other the whole darn time. I know their voices from somewhere. Wait, the part where the gun goes off is right after this. Kashak. The President thrusts his fist into the air as an excitement reaches fever pitch. The battle against evil rages on. Here today I make you the solemn promise. We shall crush the wicked with the righteous hammer of justice. What the? Ah! Shirk. Hiss. Well, there you have it. So, 2 shots were fired. Yep, and that tells us something. Something very important indeed. It allows us to deduce the trajectory of one of our bullets. Of the 2 shots fired, 1 hit the president, which means the other must have passed through both the flag and the balloon in that order, which as you can see allows us to deduce the position of our shooter. Oh, I should have saved it sooner. I'm guessing either here or here? Here, guys, do you think? I'm gonna botch this up so badly. Get ready for a lot of damages up there.
Take that!
Yep. Down in the trees. Like, I'm so bad. As I've said, I'm so bad at these games. I'm stupid. I look up things all the time. I keep guessing until I find the right answer. Yep. You sure did pick the wrong spot. Let's save the game now, and let's keep guessing until we find the right answer. So I guess it takes place in the tree, huh? In the trees.
Take that!
Nope. Okay. This makes no goddamn sense now. Down in the trees, lower left? You're on the wrong side. How is that possible? It's over here? How is that possible? How can a bullet, like, go this way and then swing this way? The bullet had to go through the flag and the balloon at the same path. So yeah, it would be, like, I guess more in the trees here?
Take that!
Okay, time to go look up a guide. This makes no goddamn sense. It would be either in the center or far to the left, but how is that possible? This is one of the things I was afraid of when streaming a new game. Alright, I'll do it here. It makes no sense how a bullet can go... Pshoo! Maybe hit something and then it hit the balloon. It ricocheted off of something. The bullet had to hit the flag first, then the balloon. So... it went bang... bang... bang? It ricocheted off 2 things?
Take that!
Nope, I'm looking up a guide. I'm done. I'm already done. This don't make no sense, guys. Nope. Guide time. Guide time. Nope. Ace Attorney Investigations. There were 2 shots. The first one was a miss, going through the flag and the balloon. Second thing, the first shot did not hit the president. Well, which one are we trying to do? Our 2 lines should converge on a single point where our culprit was standing. I'm so freaking confused. I'm too stupid for this crap. I'm looking up a guide. Okay. Ace. Investigations 2. Here we go. Here we go. I think this is it. Nope, that's not it. Dead center below the bridge. Well, there's no below bridge option, sadly, so I'm gonna add walkthrough to the search list here. Strategy wiki, here we go. Well, I'll give myself some credit. It only took me 35 minutes to look up a guide, and not like 5. So let's see the right answer, guys. Let's find the right answer. It's here, apparently. That makes no sense whatsoever, but it's right here.
Take that!
Alright, good stuff. South of the bridge. Drawing a line between the flag and the balloon gives us the trajectory of one of our bullets, and places our shooter on the left-hand side of the spectator area. I don't even know, like, what we were looking for at that moment. You're a genius, Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe, I'll need to examine the left side of the spectator area. Roger that, sir. So you need me to clear all those people out of the way, I guess? I do, and what evidence remains to be found may already be deteriorating. So I need you to be quick about it. Yes, sir. Chief? Hey, I'm talking to you, Chief. Suppose you mean me, Miss Lloyd? I sure do. You gotta help me out. This stuff's my forte. I'm the best crowd herder you ever did see. I'll prod, pummel, and push 'em wherever you like. A very kind offer, but I think a less hands-on approach might be preferable. Also, about this chief business, I am nobody's chief. Whatever you say, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, wish is my command. I somehow doubt that. Here you go, sir. It's all ready for you. Miss Lloyd here has cleared everybody out, just like that. You should have seen it. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. The chief, my other chief that is, she sends 'em running twice as fast. She sounds like quite a formidable character. Perhaps I should go easier on the poor girl. Thank you, but you really shouldn't have. All that running around. Your clothes are covered in mud. Allow me to pay for the cleaning. It's the least I can do. Huh? You mean my jacket? Oh, don't you be worrying about your pretty little head about that. It's reversible. All you gotta do is switch it around and alakazam, no more dirt. On the outside, perhaps, but you'd still have something of a problem with the inside. Ready to get back to the investigation whenever you are, sir. The crowd has trampled the entire area. We'll be lucky to find any traces of our shooter at all. It's the wimp? I don't see him. Where? Oh, there he is. I see him. I think what I thought we were doing is looking for the bullet that killed the guy. The first bullet that hit the flag, or the other one that hit the Steel Samurai thing. I thought that is what we were doing. Hi there. Well, this is quite the situation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Who is he again? It's Payne, Mr. Edgeworth. Winston Payne. We work together at the prosecutor's office. He's a prosecutor? What brings you here today, Mr. Payne? What indeed? Why, only the invitation of the chief prosecutor himself. His voice. I recognize it from the tape recording. Was he one of the men who was standing in front of Miss Lloyd? And where is the chief prosecutor? He had to leave, I'm afraid. He's a busy man. They let him, and only him, out through the cordon. So he had me summoned on short notice, and then left before I even showed up? Rude. Oh, it was Mr. Payne, guys. He did it. I did not see that one coming. You ever gotta pick through the trash yourself? Prosecutor's life ain't easy, huh? Or you even? Detective Gumshoe. Right away, sir. The bullet that hit the Steel Samurai was the same as the one that hit the flag. Well, what's the point of shooting a second one then? Confusion? The faithful detective scrambles through the garbage as the prosecutor looks on, his hands unblemished. Let's see now. Come to Papa, little treasure. Is he enjoying himself? Bingo! Popsicle stick. Gotta love the jokes they put on these. Detective. Sorry, sir. Relevant evidence. Relevant evidence. Huh? I think we got something. Good work, Detective. Let's take a closer look, shall we? By examining a piece of evidence from all angles, we can uncover hidden details. We sure can. Just tell me which way you want it, sir. We can rotate the item with R. If you want, I can move it closer or further away, too. I can use L to examine an object up close and R to move it out for a bigger picture. And when you spot something, just say the word. I can point out suspicious areas with the cursor and press A to inspect them more closely. Alright, let's see what we can discover. Nothing on the outside. The gun! This is a document of some time. Less cover for Lakeside now. Eyes on this area. Lead Rook, second knight. Rook position in light of knight's injury. Oh no, these are chess terms. I don't know anything about chess. Presidential security plan. Knight to immediately escort president to plane in case of emergency. Stay frosty. We know who might be in the audience. What are we looking at here? Presidential security plan? It's a diagram of the president's security arrangements. It shows how the president's bodyguards were positioned. It even has his people's names. It even has his people's names on it. Rook and Knight. So his bodyguards aren't natives of Zhengfa. I already used some private security firm. But why not employ people from his own country? I know why not. Y'all want to hear little Tabby Lloyd exclusive? You really know something. Sure I do. I was over at their embassy not too long back sniffing out a story. While I'm there, one of my sources tells me that the president's got more enemies than you got hairs on your head, including a bunch of bigwigs in the National Police Force. Interesting. So he's unable to trust his own domestic law enforcement. Wonder if one of these enemies could have been behind the attempt on his life. Someone on the president's security detail is a traitor. Ho ho. What was it doing dumped there in that bag? You raise an interesting point. It's a document relating to a matter of national security. It would surely be highly classified. Huh? Hey, there's something else in here. What? My. What's a gun doing in there? Sir, this bag, it's gotta belong to the... Yes, it could well have been disposed of by a would-be assassin. A revolver. It would have taken a lot of nerve to dump it here amidst all the chaos. Pew pee? Does that what a revolver makes? Pew pew! Pew 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 pew! Could it be the work of a professional? That would explain the security plan too. I think we need to take a very close look at our latest find. There's a bullet. This part is called the grip. I've held a few guns in my time, though they've never felt quite right in my hand. This one is no exception. What about the chamber? 2 bullets spent in the cylinder, matching the 2 gunshots heard in the recording. That proves it. This must be the weapon that was used. Alright. What about, the sniper shot? This is a laser sight. It can be lined up with the target to make aiming a bit easier. If I press this here... Yep, definitely a red laser. Could the assassin have used a laser sight to target the president? And how the heck did no one notice it? That bag was a real find, huh? Just goes to show, a bag in the hand is worth 2 in the trash. Nice work, Detective. Now, there's something else I'd like to ask of you, if you don't mind. I need you to take the bag and the gun to forensics and see if they can find any prints. On it, sir. A good set of fingerprints could really help this investigation along. Got the results for you, sir. That was quick. You bet it was. Told the techs it was ultra super high-tech priority. But, they came up empty. And they checked everywhere? Inside and outside, top to bottom, sir. They even took the bullets out of the gun and dusted them. Should have known it wouldn't be that easy. But that took seconds, though. Hey, you. Who did it? You're with one of the news channels. Yep. Can I help you? You must have footage of the event. Did you mind if I take a look? Wish I could help you, but that might be a little tricky. And why is that, huh, pal? You got a problem with doing your civic duty or something? A sight on a handgun? I guess so. Sights on a handgun aren't actually uncommon in certain circumstances. Interesting. No, it's just that my camera was knocked over in all the panic, and now I can't get it to work. That footage would have helped us immensely. Yeah, just our luck. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. What the? You look like you need a little help, Mr. Edgeworth. I know that voice. Hey! Kay! There she is. She back. Honestly, I leave you alone for 2 seconds, but don't you worry. Your hero's here to save the day. It just makes you laugh. They tend to be the length of the gun barrels. They tend to be silly. Yuck, young Miss Faraday returns. That's right, the one, the only, Kay Faraday. Hero, only you would give yourself a title like that. So you're not the great thief anymore? Not right now, but it's not like I quit. I'm just on sabbatical. I'm taking time out for some intensive training. Being the second Yatagarasu doesn't come easy. Kay helped me out on a few occasions about 2 weeks ago when I was working a case. Only 2 weeks have passed? Oh my gosh. The case of the Yatagarasu, a mysterious thief who seemed to appear and disappear at will, and who claimed to only steal the truth. She calls herself the second Yatagarasu, the successor to the so-called Great Thief. There's not a lock I can't open or a trap I can't escape. And when it comes to stealing, well, I'm still in training, but I'll get there soon enough. What are you doing here, Kay? What do you think I'm doing? I've been enjoying the festivities, of course. Suppose she did mention being fond of such things. Then afterwards, I was thinking of dropping by your office to see you guys, but now I don't have to. Good to see you, kiddo. You're as bright as breezy as ever. Hey, Gummy, how you been? You're looking pretty full of beans yourself. So, Kay, are you really here to save the day? Yep. Prepare for your jaw to hit the floor. Your best pal in the world here only went and took pictures of the whole shebang. Did you now? Then you'd better show them to me. Wow, your jaw didn't even drop an inch. What's a girl gotta do to impress you, huh? 2 weeks! I know. Edgeworth has no breaks. I know, right? Mr. Prosecutor here's about as much fun as a damaged toothache. Dang toothache. Wouldn't even let me call him Chief. Aw, but I'm forgetting my manners. Tabby Lloyd, ace reporter at your service. Nice to meet you, Tabby. You're right, he's no fun at all. The one time You two can chat later. Okay, can I see those pictures? Boo, fine here. Oh. I took this one right when the gun went off. He was total chaos, people running everywhere. The president and his 2 bodyguards. The names on the security plan were Knight and Rook, I think. What's that? I'm looking at the pictures. Thank you indeed, Kay. I think you provided us with a vital clue. Hoo-wee, your eyes just lit up like a pair of dang Christmas trees. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, care to tell the readers what you've spotted? A contradiction. Huh? A what now? I don't see nothing strange. Let's save the game again, guys. Edgy is very much a sleep for this week type of guy. Sleep is for the week, rather. Slightly worried that Tabby Lloyd might be one of the 2 extra legs of the Yatagarasu by the end. Maybe. Oh, the guy is a target. I thought, Okay, I guess he didn't have a thing on his head. Allow me to show you. This picture shows the moment of the incident, but another piece of evidence shows something different. Do me a favor, Captain Chips. Say those kinds of things after I figure it out, alright? Unless I ask you, okay? I actually want to attempt this without a guide as much as possible. I need to highlight the point of contradiction, and then employ my powers of deduction. First to find the contradiction in the photograph. Right there. Yes, this is it. I'll simply press X to make my deduction. Now to present the evidence that proves the contradiction. Eureka! You're just here to help? Yes. Thank you for your help. Help me if I say I need help, if that's alright. Why are they using a guy with a neck brace? Good question. Why do you have a neck brace, mister? Look closely at the picture of the president in this newspaper clipping, if you would, Miss Lloyd. Now look at Kay's photograph. Compare the two carefully. Huh? What am I looking for here? About to say the same. Well, I'll be. Indeed, there's something on the president's forehead, something that wasn't there in the other picture. What is that? Some kind of birthmark? Yeah, guy's got a big red birthmark right in the middle of his forehead. I highly doubt a birthmark just sprang up there since the other picture was taken. Did he get bitten by a bug then, maybe? Yeah, that's it. That's right, there's a big old bug bite. Here I thought it was something important. That look on your face. You should know that the road to the truth is paved with just seemingly trivial details. Ooh, again with the face. Alright, duly noted, Chief. I'm gonna speak to Kay. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Did you like my big entrance? Bet I really am your hero now, huh? Well, your evidence helped things along, certainly. Hey, I'm the second Yatagarasu, remember? All in a day's work. Kinda wish I could have showed you how far I've really come with the whole great thief thing, though. The training you mentioned? About that. Don't worry, I haven't stolen anything yet. I promise. So the whole great thief thing is just on hold, for now anyway. That's a relief, I suppose. Yeah, I wanted to get out there and start stealing back the truth like my dad. But I've still got a ways to go with my training, and I need to find some partners in crime. Hope she means that figuratively. I can't be the only girl in the world looking to pull off the most daring heist ever attempted. True, but not many people are looking to pull off a career in larceny either, I'd wager. Yep, no doubt about it. If you compare the pic I took to the newspaper clipping, the red birthmark stands out like a sore thumb. That's a contradiction, alright. Indeed, though I'm very much doubt it's due to a birthmark suddenly appearing. Oh, that reminds me, I might have to steal that line of yours. The road to the truth is paved with the seemingly trivial thefts. Funny, I don't remember being that exact sequence of words I used. You like Kay's music? Me too. Kay is a good theme. Why just rob a house when you can rearrange the furniture too? You may call it rearranging, but I call it irretrievably corrupting. Always good to see Kay again. Alright. Let's attempt some logic now. So, assassin attempt, revolver, laser sight, red birthmark. Maybe these two? Yay! I have solved the mystery of the red birthmark. Really? So it wasn't a bug bite? No, what we're dealing with isn't something that would itch for a day. Isn't something that would itch for a day and then disappear. Good on you, mate. Thanks. It is, in fact, the beam of a laser sight. Then our killer was aiming to shoot the president square in the forehead? And shortly after the picture was taken, a second shot rang out. Yeah, that's gotta do more than itch. Indeed, I fear the president may be in even more danger than we thought. And that the gun we found was the weapon used in the crime. Why would the perp use a laser sight, though? He's right. You'd stand out like crazy using something like that. Pew pew pew! It's not like you can just go around shooting lasers all over the place. No, and anyone who saw it could trace it right back to the shooter. Seemed like a pretty bad idea all around. Oh, I almost forgot! I took a couple more pictures. Maybe the laser sight's in one of them. It's a long shot, but it's worth a look at least. Alright, Kay, let's see these other pictures. Yes, sir, right away, sir. Let's see. First up, here's one I took just before everything started going south. Very cute. Oh, I see something. It might be more useful for us if half the frame wasn't taken up with your picture. Hee hee. Hey, can you blame me for wanting to get a selfie with the president? Is that Mr. Payne right there? Lucky for you, this was right before the gun went off. And this one I showed you before is just from after the first shot was fired. Thought he was dead. Is he alive? He wasn't paying attention. The president? I think he might be alive. I'm not sure, actually. The second shot came just seconds after this. Then there's... Oh, what's this? I can hardly see anything. I got knocked over when everyone started running right after that last picture. Guess I must have pressed the shutter by accident. Not sure this one's gonna be much use, kid. And that's all of them. Time to take a closer look. Let's examine the picture from before. Is there any hint of the laser sight here in this picture? Yeah, right there.
Take that!
There, I see it. What is it, sir? Look closely at the person with the red hood. Whoa, there it is. Indeed, that's our laser sight right there. So, that's our perp. The one in the red hood must be... The shooter, yes. No, not Mr. Payne. Who is he? Who's Mr. Payne? Let's just say he's from the original games. He's in the first case in every game. We found them. It's all thanks to yours truly. Indeed, you led us right to the greatest treasure of all, Miss Great Thief, the truth. Hee hee. You may have captured our would-be assassin in one of your other pictures too. Let's take another look. A Red Hood suspect could be in another of these photographs from... after. And is the person with the red hood here somewhere? Hey guys, do you see the red hood? Let me know. Is he on the bald head? Is he on this person's ass? There he is! You found him!
Take that!
Excelente! Look, right there. A red jacket. That must be our suspect. Looks like they took advantage of the confusion to make their getaway. Luckily, we can see exactly where they were headed. Ah, the samurai dog stand! Precisely, which means they escaped toward the right-hand side of the spectator area. Detective Gumshoe? On it, sir. Consider it cleared. Good. I'm counting on you. I might have an idea of who it is, but I'm not gonna say anything right now. We have you now, my little Red Riding Hood. The entire park is cordoned off, and we know which way you went. Now it's simply a matter of hunting you down. Now, let us continue our investigation. There's evidence here somewhere. All we have to do is find it. It's the umbrella. It's the dango. Dango. The banner advertising the rifle range has fallen over. Must have been knocked down in the crash. It's covered in footprints too. The crowd must have really panicked. Hey, know where I can buy one of these? Why would you wish to? Don't tell me you're thinking of writing Gumshoe on it and wearing it on your back. What? How did you guess? Are you my mind reader, sir? Is that it? It was a joke, but I should have known that nothing's impossible when it comes to the good detective. Samurai dogs. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Here's something. What's this? A red button. Hey, do you think? Found near the samurai dog. Could it have been dropped by a red-hooded suspect? Yes, it certainly seems likely. Alright, what else? It says samurai dogs, now with Sakura relish, just in time for spring. Sakura, huh? What does that taste like? Well, Sakura is cherry blossom, so I guess maybe cherries? But blossoms are blossoms and cherries are cherries, sir. Totally different things. But you're right, I suppose. So what does the Sakura really taste like? This is my kind of mystery. Oh, wait, I see something. There's something red down there. Detective Gumshoe, can you see what that is under the stand, please? Something down there, all right. Let's see. All right, maybe not. A red raincoat. This must be the one the suspect was wearing. They must have taken it off and hidden it under there before they made their escape. Yay! You're curious what Sakura blossoms taste like? Here's hoping they taste somewhat good. Good-ish. Well, there's the coat. The sleeve, it's inside out. The button is missing too. Well, I think it might be time for some more logic then, guys. Red button, raincoat sleeve. Yay! The button we found seems to have come from this raincoat. It must have been pulled loose when the killer took it off. Huh? The right sleeve's inside out too. It seems it was removed in a hurry, fast enough to tear a button off, no less. I surmise our assassin disposed of their gun and bag in the trash immediately after shooting at the president. Then they slipped into a panic crowd and moved from the left to the right side of the spectator area. This was because they knew the trajectory of the bullet would point to a shooter on the left side. Finally, they removed the raincoat and headed under the samurai dog stand. The killer would have needed to get rid of the coat as soon as possible, hence its hurried removal. The fact that the right sleeve is inside out is a testament to how quickly it was taken off. Yep, that and the missing button. The question, of course, is, why didn't the same thing happen to the left sleeve? Oh yeah, only the right sleeve is inside out. Indeed, and the button on the left sleeve is still securely attached. So, what does this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? If we're to answer that question, Detective, we'll need to inspect the raincoat in more detail. Alright, Mr. Raincoat. You're going down. You think you've had it? That was either Sakura or Plum Blossom Kit Kat? It was yummy-ish. Flowery and yummy-ish, huh? Maybe I'll try some someday. Let's take a closer look at the inside of the raincoat. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Ooh. This is a bloodstain, and considering where it's located, I'd say the blood belongs to our would-be assassin. So we're looking for someone with an injury. Not just any injury, Detective, an injury on their left arm. Huh? How do we know that? It's simple. The right sleeve is inside out, suggesting that the suspect removed the raincoat in a hurry. Conservatively, the left sleeve is just as we would expect it to be. Therefore, the suspect's left arm was never in the sleeve in the first place. And once we understand that, everything else falls into place. Now, Detective, there is a bloodstain on the left side lining of the raincoat because the suspect's arm was too injured to fit through the sleeve. Precisely, or at least we can say that there is a good probability that was the case. The pieces are starting to fall into place. Yay! Woo! Detective Gumshoe, I need you to go and search the crowd for likely suspects. Yes, sir. Suspicious characters with injured left arms coming right up. You're even smarter than you look, Ruffles. Taking all the bitty pieces and putting them together like that, you'll have your man in no time. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. The park is still cordoned off, so our would-be assassin should be in that crowd somewhere. Don't let me down, Detective Gumshoe. I found no one. Everyone left. Mr. Edgeworth, we found someone who fits the bill perfectly, sir. Way to nab the assassin, Gummy. Hold on, Kay. It's a little soon to be jumping to conclusions. For the moment, there's a person of interest and nothing more, understand? Understood? Okay. No jumping. But he's our shooter, sir. I'm sure of it. He's the guy who tried to take out the president. In broad daylight, surrounded by a crowd of witnesses, this is no ordinary assassin. Bring him over here, Detective. Carefully. Yes, sir. Come on, boys. You heard Mr. Edgeworth. Oh. Welp. We're getting him early. No umbrella, and a bandage on his left arm. Well, pal, state your name already. Doe. John Doe. Charmed, I'm sure. John Doe. Not a name you often hear in real life. That's correct. I know this man from somewhere. I'm sure of it. And you are Prosecutor Edgeworth. You know my name? Of course. I have been following the day's developments with some interest. Now, perhaps you'd care to explain why you've asked to speak with me. As you've been following our investigation, you're no doubt aware of who we're looking for. He looks tall. A little bit tall, yeah. So let me ask you, do you recognize this raincoat by any chance? Forgive me, but I am afraid I do not. I see. Well, I believe its owner to be the would-be assassin we are seeking. My. Well, isn't that just shocking? Look at his jacket. Doesn't anyone recognize that? Isn't that shocking? And the same would-be assassin happens to have an injured left arm, just like you. All I can tell you is that I had nothing to do with this unfortunate affair. The two adversaries stare each other down, their eyes like deadly lasers. Gotta tell the readers what happens next. A showdown, that's what. A battle of wits. A battle of words. Did I let him explain any further what he thinks this upcoming battle will entail? I got it already. Detective Gumshoe, if you quite finish leaking my professional strategies to the press... Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Thanks a bunch, you big old grouch, as if I would have done any harm. You like his ice cream? Well, I didn't know that this would be our first, person. I was not expecting this. I can understand why whoever wore the raincoat would be of interest to you. But you have no proof that this person is injured, as you claim. My left arm may be injured, but I can still use my right. When it started raining, I simply opened my umbrella. No raincoat required. This is a twist. I figured he'd come in way later. He's here now. So you contend that you are not wearing a raincoat, is that correct? It is, and is that so strange? Not everyone wears one, after all. I happen to prefer an umbrella. Team Raincoat over here, they're perfect for when a girl really needs to move. Heck, I don't use either. Come rain, sleet, or snow or shine, it's my trusty parka every time. Not exactly the line of inquiry I was hoping to pursue. So you see, I am not your would-be killer. And I'm not in the habit of making baseless accusations, Mr. Doe. Please, I am just simply ice cream Oh my. Forgive me, my wound seems to have begun bleeding again in all the excitement. The owner of the raincoat is definitely our assassin, and said owner also has an injured left arm. I'm on to you, Mr. Doe. It's only a matter of time. So like I said, if I ask for help on the thingy, I'll ask for it. Not pinky promise, but don't worry. I can understand why whoever wore the raincoat would be of interest to you. So you admit that whoever wore the raincoat is a person of interest? I know they are. I was able to follow most of your investigation from the spectator area. One never thinks one could get caught up in such an awful thing as an assassination. But you have no proof that this person is injured, as you claim.
Hold it!
So you'd like to see some proof that the owner of the raincoat has an injury? I would certainly expect such a renowned prosecutor to have some. Nah, I still don't understand how you know who I am. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, you're famous. Probably read about you in the newspaper. I have also been observing you and your work, lest you forget. I don't believe a word he says. If I can prove he's lying, we'd be one step closer to apprehending our shooter. This coming from you, Mr. DeKiller? From you. Yep. My left arm may be injured, but I can still use my right.
Hold it!
That looks like quite a serious injury, Mr. Doe. How long ago did that happen exactly? Oh, not long. That's all you're going to say on the subject? Well, that certainly made serving ice cream more difficult, and stopped me from holding my umbrella while I worked. When it started raining, I simply opened my umbrella. No raincoat required.
Hold it!
Did he just dab at his wound with his napkin and then use the same napkin as on his food again? Yeah, maybe. And yet, you don't seem to have an umbrella on you at the moment. Didn't the rain stop only a short while ago, just before the shooting? It did indeed. I remember because I was suddenly inundated with customers. That was less than an hour ago. Are you trying to tell me you lost your umbrella in that short of a span of time? Yes, that is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. After all, it only takes a moment for someone to steal an umbrella, especially in a crowd of that size. That's entirely possible, I suppose. I had my umbrella when it was raining, Mr. Edgeworth, that is a fact. Then he lost that umbrella to the crowd, huh? Guess it's just one of those things. Suppose you're going to tell me that his wound reopening is just one of those things, too? Well, it kinda is, no? The assassin's left arm is injured. Oh. As is Mr. Doe's. Why, it's even bleeding as we speak. You're right, that is pretty suspicious. Nonetheless, we need to find something concrete that will link Mr. Doe to the crime. Should present R to open my organizer and look all over the evidence again. Hey, Siller for life! Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? It's good to see ya. Okay, I did not see any obvious things. Any obvious, things. No proof that this person is injured as you claim. This, maybe?
Objection!
Okay, cool. How have you been, though? It's good to see ya. After all these years. Maybe not years, but it's good to see ya. You seem like a careful man, Mr. Doe, but not quite careful enough. After all, you left something behind, something of vital importance. I'm afraid you must have me confused with somebody else. The coat does not belong to me. Or, do you claim to have some kind of proof to support your accusation? Your arm isn't troubling you too much, I hope. Your wound seems to be bleeding again. I'll survive, although I can't pretend it's not something of an inconvenience. You have my deepest sympathies, because if it wasn't bleeding quite so badly, you could have perhaps made a clean getaway. What exactly are you insinuating? As we have already established, whoever wore the raincoat is injured. You got Elden Ring for your birthday. Oh, it's your birthday? You should have stopped by. I could have sung happy birthday to you. How is it? How is Elden Ring? Now I can prove that person was you, with this decisive piece of evidence. Oh, it's melting fast. You see, Mr. Doe, there is a small amount of blood on the inside of this raincoat, blood that belongs to our assassin. Attempted murder of a foreign leader, causing a diplomatic incident? They'll throw the book at you. You can give us the silent treatment all you like, but we don't need you to talk. A simple blood test will give us the answer we require. All it takes is for us to compare the blood on your bandages with that on the coat, and that will be that. This ice cream's amazing. The ice cream's alive! 2 weeks ago, but the game is fun. That's good. I'm glad that you like it. We have the evidence. Why don't you make it easier on all of us and come clean? Admit that you were the one who attempted to assassinate the president of Zangfa. I am not your assassin. You're stubborn, I'll give you that. But if this were a game of chess, you would already be in checkmate. Now do the honorable thing and admit defeat. Doesn't look like a man with no moves left to play. Very well, you have me. I'll admit it. I was wearing the raincoat. He confessed! Say the word, I'll slap the cuffs on him right now. But I did not shoot at the president. What? Mr. Edgeworth, the only thing you have proven is that I was wearing a particular raincoat, and as far as I am aware, that is not a crime. I am no assassin, I am simply ice cream. I am a simple ice cream seller, one who happened to be wearing a red raincoat while watching the president speak. I was as surprised as anyone when his bodyguards sprang into action as the shots rang out. That's when the spectators panicked and started running and screaming for their lives. Are you to guess the restriction you put on myself? You're not gonna level up at all? You're gonna remain unleveled or something? Now are you finally satisfied that I am telling the truth? As if! Your story stinks. You don't scare me. The evidence is on our side, you know. Look, it's right here, plain as day. The assassin, and they're wearing a red raincoat. Intriguing, but that is not me. Oh, come on! Tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, Do you really think I was the only one in the entire park wearing a red raincoat today? I do, actually. But then why? Why does he seem so sure of himself? Each time you die, you do 10 push-ups. Ooh. You're either very, very good at the game, or you're gonna get jacked. Swole! We'll see which way you go, huh? Ha ha. I am no assassin. I am a simple ice cream seller.
Hold it!
A simple ice cream seller, but a knowledgeable one, I assume. On the subject of ice cream, at least. But of course, ask me anything you wish. Arg, I don't know the first thing about ice cream. You know what the, most important thing about making ice cream is, of course. Mr. Edgeworth? Why, the most important thing about making ice cream is to approach it with a virtuous heart. And what does virtue have to do with anything? Without proper reverence for the craft, I'm afraid all you'll ever make are sweetened crystals of ice. There, I hope that you now see. I am nothing more than an ice cream seller. Get swole! You'll get both. Swole and good. One who happens to be wearing a red raincoat while watching the president speak.
Hold it!
Why a raincoat? Why were you not using an umbrella? Is that so strange? It was a rainy morning. Most people were wearing a jacket of some kind. Well, I'd say it's a pretty strange choice considering you couldn't get one of your arms into it. Better that than have one of my hands occupied by an umbrella. I had ice cream to serve, after all. And why go to such lengths to avoid testifying to that effect in the first place? Forgive me, I simply hadn't remembered until now. It's been an eventful day, after all. Eventful? Well, I hardly know what else to call it, Mr. Edgeworth. The president of Zangfa was shot at. I was as surprised as anyone when his bodyguards sprang into action and the shots rang out.
Hold it!
Hey, Krusty! Yep, this is the one. This is the game indeed. How you doing today? You've done 260 push-ups. Oh my gosh. Do you already feel ripped? Yes, if I recall correctly, they moved first. At least the one on the left did. You're rather observant, Mr. Doe. I am blessed with keen eyes. The names of the bodyguards were written in the top left corner of the security plan, and the one on the left was Rook. That's correct. Bastion Rook, I believe. I expect he noticed the light from the laser sight. The man is no amateur. Mr. Doe knows a little too much about the business of being a bodyguard for my liking. I'd say our friend here is no amateur either. I'd like you to append what you just said to your testimony, if you don't mind. As you wish. Hey, Stars! It's an Ultima. How you doing, Stars over Hyrule? How's life treating ya? You're just in time, because I think maybe we found a contradiction, maybe? Less cover for this side. Eyes, Rook repositioned in light of Knight's injury. Knight's injury. Do you think it's Knight, guys? Stay frosty. Stay frosty. Maybe DeKiller wrote this. Or, John Doe. Sorry. Just got home from picking up landlady at the airport. How are you? I'm good. I'm finally playing this game. And happy I'm very happy. Where's the Judge Ultima? He is currently not here. You're detected by the stitches on Mr. Doe's face. Oh yeah. He has a weird stitch pattern. You notice something interesting? What's that?
Objection!
As I suspected, you are more than what you claim to be, Mr. Doe. You overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, then tell me how a simple ice cream seller knows one of the president's bodyguards' names. What? Surely. You were the one who spoke of their names aloud. Rook and Knight, was it?
Objection!
I'll bring it up if you need help. Alrighty. We only know those names thanks to the security plan. But look closely. Only their surnames appear. And we all clearly heard you say the name Bastion Rook. How did you come to possess such information? Information we ourselves didn't know. Seems pretty darn suspicious to me. Well, how do you know? Explain yourself. It was merely a slip of the tongue. Another lie. He is the assassin, just like we said. Come now, miss. It's a little too soon to be jumping to such conclusions. Is it smoking? Is it smoking, guys? I think the ice cream is smoking. I didn't know their names, yes, and the reason for that is... Well, I know Mr. Rook. He and I are acquainted. What? We have something of a connection, and his last name I can never forget. You think we're stupid, pal? Stop lying. I am not lying. I am, as I always have been, a simple ice cream seller, and an acquaintance of Bastion Rook, yes. And I suppose Mr. Rook will confirm that. It should be easy enough for him to remember his good friend, the slippery ice cream seller, correct? Please, you are more than welcome to ask him, although I think that might be difficult right now. I would imagine he's rather busy ensuring the President's safety. But suppose you are able to speak with him, and he does deny that he and I are acquainted. How will that help you prove that I was the shooter? Captain, you need help finding your... pants? What? He's so cool-headed, his ice cream experience is emotion for him. The ice cream is the real person. If you weren't the shooter, why not take off your raincoat? Or why take off? Because it was no longer raining. In fact, it had grown quite warm. Far better to let my wound breathe, no? Or would you rather I let it fester? Is he actually going to worm his way out of this? What are you waiting for, Mr. Edgeworth? Hurry up and arrest that man. He's clearly guilty. If I were you, he'd be in jail already. You might be willing to arrest a man without sufficient proof, but I am not. No, come on, Mr. Edgeworth. There's gotta be something you can do. Shocking scenes here, as the culprit seems all but certain to escape justice. It seems the court of public opinion has spoken. Very well. As I will clearly be viewed with suspicion no matter what I say, I might as well share what I know. What you know? What's his angle here? I saw them. I saw another person with a red hood. What? Are you kidding? It's the person you captured in your photograph. I first noticed them just before the president's speech began. It was still raining then. Their outfit was the same color as my own, which is what drew my attention, as did the laser beam that was aimed directly at the president's head. He's claiming that there was another red-hooded person? Preposterous! I knew that if anyone saw me dressed similarly to this individual, I could fall under suspicion myself. And so naturally, I removed my raincoat. So not only did you see the assassin, but they were wearing exactly the same thing as you? How very convenient. I have thought you might find it far-fetched, hence my not mentioning it until now. I know you law enforcement people are very skeptical types. You would never have believed me, especially not if I had said that the shooter was standing right next to a certain prosecutor. Well, I know you don't mean me. I wasn't even summoned until after the shooting. No, not you, Mr. Edgeworth. Your colleague over there. Huh? Me? Yes, the photograph will prove it, I'm sure. You see, right there in front of the person with the red hood. That's me, yes, but what exactly are you saying? What's his endgame here? As I mentioned, I have been following your investigation with some interest, Mr. Edgeworth. And while pondering the details, I noticed something strange. Strange? What exactly? You notice the ice cream has stitches in the middle of his face? Is that, usual? Yeah, it's kinda weird. Kinda strange. If you played the second game, the fourth game in the fourth case in the second game, you would recognize this person, Kurasti. Come now, a man of your talent should be more than capable of spotting a contradiction such as this. I'm afraid I don't follow. The picture shows the chief prosecutor, Mr. Payne, and the shooter. But there's nothing weird about that, is there? Think carefully. The picture was taken right in the middle of the president's speech. One of the other pieces of evidence you've gathered is inconsistent with what we see here. What is Mr. Doe talking about? Which piece of evidence is inconsistent with what's in this picture? Yeah, no idea, guys. We know who might be in the audience. You can never forget when he... Spoiler. Yeah, I might need assistance on this one, Captain Chips. I have no idea what is inconsistent here. Hoodie pointing at him. Angriness. This is just the gun. If you don't have a guide up, then I'll just look at the guide. 2 gunshots can be heard. Samurai. Why can't I save the game? I think it's in case photographs. I don't need I think though. I know. So I'm going to the guide. So give me a second, folks. You are incorrect. It is this apparently.
Take that!
Arg, of course, the tape. It contradicts the photograph. Yeah, Captain Chips, there's a very good guide online. And if you want to look there for the stuff, that would super help. Don't have a guide. If you look up Ace Attorney Investigations 2, like walkthrough, it should be the first thing you see. Gonna figure this out yourself. Oh no, okay, I'll use the guide then. Of course, the tape, it contradicts the photograph. Ah, so you have noticed at last. Wasn't the reporter girl behind Mr. Payne? I think so, yeah. You have noticed at last. What's he going on about, Mr. Edgeworth? Someone's missing. Someone who should be here. Huh? But who? Who indeed? The person who is missing from this photograph is... the tabby. The tabloid.
Take that!
Huh? Miss Lloyd? How do you figure that? Mr. Payne's voice can clearly be heard on Miss Lloyd's tape, considering that he was conducting a private conversation with the chief prosecutor. Oh, there were these 2 old guys standing right in front of me. They were whispering away to each other the whole darn time. Tabby's jacket is reversible. Yep. That's something I was thinking of too. She must have been very close indeed to capture it on tape. You're right, but she's not in the picture. Precisely. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you still believe that you have been hounding the right person? Nah. Miss Lloyd, would you mind answering a few questions? Whoa, y'all are fixing to put me under the microscope now? Alright, sure, knock yourselves out. I got nothing to hide. It ain't like I was standing still the whole time. And I was running all over, roving reporter style, and that was a big old crowd. Guess the picture must have been taken while I was in one spot, and the tape's from when I was in another. So quit giving me the evil eye. Ain't nothing but a misunderstanding. The red could have been the tape recorder light too. Maybe. There's no doubt about the voices on the tape. That was Mr. Payne and the chief prosecutor, I'm certain of it. Tabby wouldn't lie to us, I know she wouldn't. But if she did, that would mean... Then she's our perp. Well, y'all quit messing with me, as if I could have done a thing like that. Little old me. I might be inclined to believe you if your testimony didn't contain a glaring inconsistency. It does? I thought it was pretty good. Seems I have no choice but to present her with the evidence and expose the contradiction. Oh, crap. The recording light wouldn't also be part of her design. I don't see a recording light on her. Yeah, that's a laser sight. So... you said present evidence, right? I was running all over roving reporter, and that was the big old crowd. Taken while I was in one spot, and the tapes from when I was in another. Maybe here? You trust? Feel free to spitball ideas, guys. I don't know if that's the right phrase. One spot while you were in another. Maybe this?
Objection!
Yep. Miss Lloyd, it's imperative for a reporter not to lie, wouldn't you say? You're dang right it is, and I don't lie. And yet, the photograph and the recording were definitely taken at the same time. What? You can't prove that. Oh, but I can. The evidence is right here in these pictures. The one in particular shows something that lines up precisely with what you were making your... with when you were making your recording. Ah, god damn it. Must have been taken at the same time as Miss Lloyd's recording. What do you think, guys? You never played any game in this series? Yep. He's only watched me play the game. Yeah, no idea. No idea. Guide time! The location apparently is... present the president's raised arm. Yeah, there's no way I would have known that was the right answer. No way. In all the 9 hells. Note Payne's hand? Payne's hand, yes, but apparently this is the answer. Mr. Payne talks to the guy next to him. So, yep. See here, the president has his fist raised. And, what about it? Would you be so kind as to play us the tape again? It ain't that simple. What if I were to tell you that you don't have a choice? You don't make it easy, do you, Ruffles? Remember, we are concerned with the moment the president raised his fist. Hit 300 push-ups? Oh my gosh. Well done, Siller. Sad that all those deaths happened, but also well done on working out. No criminal organization, no matter how big, is above the law. The president thrusts his fist into the air as this excitement reaches fever pitch. There. That's the moment right there. Correct. We now confirmed when it occurred in the recording. Which means Tabby should be in the picture too. And she is, right there for all to see. For Miss Lloyden is in fact the person with the red hood. What? So you're our shooter, huh? No, I don't even own a jacket like that. That's right. From everything we know, the owner of the red raincoat is... Give me a second, guys. Apparently John Doe owns it for some reason. We have already proven that the raincoat belongs to Mr. Doe. You, Miss Lloyd, were wearing something else. Something that also happened to have a red hood. So, there were 2 people with red hoods all along? Indeed, Mr. Doe's last statement was true. According to Tabby, they were chatting each other up the whole time she was behind him? Yep. Where's the other? Our ice cream seller never mentioned a raincoat, only a red hood. So tell us about your jacket again, Miss Lloyd. This old thing? Well, the best thing about it is, like I said, is if you get mud and such on it, it's reversible, see? So you just turn it inside out and... Eek! Just as I thought. The inside of her hood, it's red! That's right. And when the incident occurred, that side of the hood was that's the side of the hood that was visible. What's going on here? What were you really up to, huh, pal? Well, wait, never even wore it that way around. Perhaps if you would allow us to examine it, we could confirm that for ourselves. And y'all are gonna confirm that how exactly? It was raining right up until the president's speech, correct? That much has been established already. And as you yourself said... Heck, I don't use neither. Come rain, sleet, snow, or shine, it's my trusty parka every time. If you haven't reversed your parka since the rain, then the inside should be dry. What? Wait a second now. I got this big old backpack on, see? So I can't take off my jacket. Yeah. But maybe I could show y'all some other time. I think an excuse last week is gonna wash with Mr. Edgeworth. John Doe owns the jacket. It has its blood. The jacket wasn't ditched. She turned her coat inside out. I thought they were questioning, like, the jacket she's wearing was, hers or not. Aww. Well, what are you waiting for? If you're innocent, take it off and show us. It wasn't me, I swear. Never shot the dang president. I could never. If that's true, Miss Floyd, then your best option is to cooperate and tell us the truth. Is there a particular reason why you chose to wear a parka with a red hood here today? I'm sorry, Ruffles. There's something I never told you. Something I couldn't. But I'll come clean, I promise. Just go easy on me now, you hear? Why she got a bear trap? Good question. What? Who said that? Hold your horses. It's a little soon for the endgame. Ah. It's the one with the brace. That goes for you too, Mr. Prosecutor. You lost this one the moment you made your opening move. That's one of the men from Kay's photograph. Guess I'd better introduce myself. The name's Bronco Knight. I'm the president's personal bodyguard, and second in command of his security detail. Eek! Point that thing someplace else, pal. What the heck's wrong with you? Mr. Knight. Very fancy. Sorry, can't help myself. It's just too much fun being this good. You're not a member of law enforcement, so how did you get a gun? This old girl's on loan from Zheng Fa, temporarily issued to us presidential bodyguards. Anyway, never mind that. I got 2 tidbits of news for you. You want the good or the bad first? Choice is yours. I'm indifferent, whichever you prefer. Really? You're giving up the first move advantage just like that? Whatever, your loss. Guess I'll push out the first pawn then. So you play a little chess, I take it. Ah, fellow fan, are you, Mr. Red Suit? Name's Edgeworth, and you can say I dabble. Duly noted, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright, I'll start with the good news. President's okay. Didn't suffer so much as a scratch. He didn't? That's a relief. Particularly for the young lady there. That means there's no longer a murder charge on the table. That is good news, huh, Tabby? Yeah, 'cause I never... Now for the bad news. The only reason the president's alive is because we bodyguards did our job. One of us did, however. Our boss. Put himself in the line of fire. You're referring to your colleague, Mr. Rook? Yeah, it's game over for him. No way! Rook is dead. A genuine loss. So, you're saying that Tabby... Yeah, your friend here killed my colleague, my brother in arms. Aw, heck no, I didn't do it. I didn't kill anybody. I could never. I'd shut my mouth if I were you, murderer. Sure, we did what we had to do, sacrifice one of our pieces to protect the king, but to lose someone like him during a castling, it's a real shame. Castling? What's that even mean? It's a chess term. Very simplistic speaking, it's a move where a rook switches places with the king. Then why didn't you just say so? Mr. Knight, was it? Yeah? What? We'll need to see the victim's body right away. And if possible, I'd like to ask the president a few questions. Hey! Thank you, Real Matt Ungard, for following. The real Matt Ungard is here, oh my goodness. How you doing? What's up? They're both puns. Yep. They are. Worth noting that Tabby doesn't visibly have a HUD. Very true. Plus it's hiding. But how are you today, Matt? It's good to see ya. Thank you for following. Sorry, no can do. And why not? That's the third piece of news, and it's the piece you're gonna like the least. I thought you'd say there were only 2. The National Police Force of Zheng Fa will be handling things from here. What? You better be kidding, pal! This investigation was assigned to us. We're not about to hand it over. You're the Edgeworth, right? The one who solved the Yadagarasu case. The president mentioned you. I'm honored to have warranted his attention. Makes sense that the chief prosecutor would assign this one to you. Wait, did the chief assign me to appease the president? But that was a mistake, a big one. He should have given the case to somebody with a spine. You're free to take it up with President Wang, if you enjoy diplomatic incidents, that is. Ark! You're coming with me. We'll continue this on the presidential plane. No. I never did nothing, I swear. We can do this the hard way if you like, but in Zheng Fa, justice is served one way or the other. Ruffles, come on, you gotta help me out here, please. Miss Lloyd. She was the one in the red hood, there's no denying that now. But I can't help feel that we still don't know the whole truth behind this case. I'm innocent, you gotta believe me. Can I really let this happen? Is this really how it ends? The look in her eyes, the crack in her voice as she begs me to help her. This is no act by a criminal. She's genuinely scared. And if I let him take her, we'll never know what really happened. What? Huh? What the? What? Get your filthy hands off of... Oh. Quiet now. Is that really any way to greet me? Your neck has barely begun to heal, and you've already forgotten who I am. I'm disappointed. What? It's you. Ah, so you do remember. What do you think you're doing, pal? Doing pretty good. Heard an old friend was making an appearance on the stream, and it seems like you were right. Yep, he was right there. Oh my gosh, can you believe that? LOL! You got some nerve pulling a stunt like this in front of a bunch of police officers. Don't even think about it. You don't stand a chance against this guy. Who are you really, Mr. Doe? Let's just say that I'm no simple ice cream seller. Guy's a pro, a hitman. His name's Shelly DeKiller. DeKiller. There's not a legal professional in the country who doesn't know that name. An assassin capable of taking down any target, any place, any time. This isn't the first time our paths have crossed. It's been too long, Mr. Edgeworth, but of course, this is the first time we've met face to face. You're the assassin we've been looking for? In a sense, yes. A certain someone did indeed hire me to carry out a contract, and that contract did indeed specify that I was to assassinate President Wang. I swear I've seen his picture in one of my old files before, but... Arg, how could I have been so careless? That doesn't look like proper knife safety. Is that trying to be safe with that knife? No, he's not. How have you been, by the way, Matt? Are you still in prison? Like, he obviously hasn't gotten you yet. Hopefully. That's all I can say right now, hopefully. How could I have been so careless? My bandage proved useful for bringing a knife into the park undetected, but I miscalculated in certain other regards. Didn't it bring a gun? Now, shall we play a little game, Mr. Knight? I know how fond you are of such diversions. The stakes must be high in order for it to be fun, of course. Shall we wager, say, your life? What do you want from me? I would like for you to allow Mr. Edgeworth to remain in charge of the case. He what? What are you up to, DeKiller? I would simply like our mutual friend to see things to their conclusion. Huh? But why? Bastian Rook was a man of great skill, one with whom I felt a certain connection. It is only right that the truth behind his death can be brought to light. With Mr. Rook's departure, the case is now yours to investigate. Is it not, Mr. Knight? I'm simply asking you to transfer that authority to Mr. Edgeworth. It's not something worth losing your life over, surely. You're just using the investigation as an excuse to get close to the President. Am I really? I suppose it is true that in order for the investigation to proceed, you will need to enter the presidential plane. You think I'm gonna let you near him? I'm his chief bodyguard. Are you? And here I thought you were only second in command. Rook's not around, that means I'm number one. I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes. You? Of course I do. I'm the leader now. Me. If that is indeed the case, then I would ask that you make a choice worthy of a leader. Will you needlessly throw away your life, or will you allow the investigation to continue? Nah. Is he really doing this to gain access to the President? Does he even need to? What is he plotting? You have no objections, I trust, Mr. Edgeworth. Come, let us continue the investigation. What do we do, sir? It would seem we have little choice but to do as we're told. That said, listen, Detective, and listen well. I'll buy us some time as I investigate. Meanwhile, you gather the other officers. Have them surround the plane and make absolutely certain that there's no way he can escape. Yes, sir. You got it. Oh my gosh, guys. And this is the first case, too. The first case is already this crazy? Oh my gosh. With the death of Bastian Rook and the revelation that Shelly DeKiller was in our midst, the case has taken a turn we could never have predicted. Mr. Knight ordered that the door to the presidential plane be opened, and the emergency personnel attending to the Mr. Rook's body were asked to leave. With the scene cleared, we stepped cautiously aboard. Yeah, Mr. Rook definitely looks, he definitely looks dead there. No president in sight. Now where could he be? Who knows? Ah, so he's hiding behind the bulkhead door over there, is he? As courageous in the face of danger as ever. Ha! Sorry to disappoint you, but... who shot J. Jonah Jameson? Who the heck killed me? Was it you, Spider-Man? Did you seriously expect him to be standing here waiting to meet his assassin? As we have already established, my interest lies only in the successful conclusion of this investigation. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would be so kind as to examine the body. Alright. My only option right now is to play along. The rest is up to you, Detective Gumshoe. So the attempted assassination of the president has become the murder of a bodyguard. You look like you could use a little help there, Mr. Edgeworth. Not that I need it, but yes. That's what I thought. There's nothing else for it. Okay, Faraday, great thief extraordinaire, we'll just have to take it from here. Oh, really? You mean you're going to solve the case for me? Nope. I thought not. But I will provide a vital assistance. Let's get to scouring this crime scene from top to bottom. It will take Detective Gumshoe a while to assemble our backup, so I'll need to draw this part of the investigation out for as long as possible. Alright. You. I must scour into the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. I think he was shot here, guys. Do you think that? Because I think that. The bullet seems to have entered just under his armpit and went clean through his body. He was hit in an area his bulletproof vest didn't cover, like it was on purpose or on something, huh? The cause of death would appear to be loss of blood. Attempts were made to staunch it, but to no avail. Spidey's revenge. Yep. The medics must have been brought in to try and save him. Sadly, it was too little too late. Poor guy. It's the victim, Mr. Bastian Rook, bodyguard to the president of Zangfa. He's one of the guys that brought the president inside as soon as the shooting started, which means he continued to do his duty right up until his dying breath. At least he'll get posthumously promoted? Okay, it's better to know when to say nothing at all than end up with your foot in your mouth. What do you mean? I mean, bodyguards don't even operate on the same ranks promotion system as the police in the first place. So the victim was also carrying a revolver. Looks like he was trying to use it. He probably drew it on instinct when he felt threatened. We should check to see if he managed to fire any rounds off. All there, and no other signs of the weapon having been used. Was this one on loan from Zangfa too? Yep, sure was. We're always in shoot with the same model gun. Okay. It's a bulletproof attach case. Bodyguards use them to shield their clients from gunfire. There were some in case photographed too. Looks like Rook and Knight each had one. Oh hey, that's the photo I snatched. You can hardly steal a photo at a public event, Kay. But I'm snatching up the moment in time with every picture I take, you know? I take it snatching is your new favorite word. Heh. Maybe. Alright, what else do we got? Looks like that's it. There are two large rectangles cut into the floor here. I can see hinges through the gaps. It's an emergency entrance disguised as an emergency... entrance disguised as an exit. All the president would need to do is lower his rope ladder and make his miraculous escape, which would make it an exit, not an entrance. So which is it? It's an exit, but it's used as an entrance, but disguised as an exit. Yeah, I think. Congratulations, you've even confused yourself. That's quite the achievement. Quite the bloody achievement. Do all revolvers look the same in these games, or was the gun they found the same kind? I don't know, to be honest. Not entirely sure. Two gas masks in case of a poison gas attack, I suppose. The president certainly seems to think he's at a risk of assassination at all times. Wow, gas mask! I've never seen one before. I've read plenty about them, of course. Oh, from a fellow thief, I presume? No, from the Jammin' Ninja. You know, my favorite kids' TV show. Princess Murasaki was getting married, but toxic ninja Wolfsbane showed up to lay down some sick burns. And time to tune out. Might save myself a brain cell or two. Both of the bodyguards were using the same guns. The fact that one with the sight on it looks the same to many may be a coincidence. You murdered a dragon without dying that many times. Well done, Siller. Woo! A riot shield, and next to it, a canary in a cage. Aw, she's so sweet. I want one. You ever see a cuter partner in crime? Partner in crime? Well, yeah, she could help me with the lockpicking. Stuff like that. A great thief has no greater ally than nature, Mr. Edgeworth. Sadly, such birds are most commonly used for detecting poisonous gases. Wait, this one isn't actually for that, is it? I must scour the scene and inspect everything. I thought that would be something. A curious figure of a curious animal with a curious expression is staring straight at me. And look, there's a big lever right by its butt. Don't even think about it. Oh, I wasn't thinking anything, I swear. I imagine the lever opens the panels beneath my feet. I see. So he's standing on a trap door. I strongly advise you not to pull it. Do so, and you will regret it. You know, I'm okay with taking some advice, especially when it's from a professional killer. You like that one? Fun shot. Lurirana of the Lake Dragon. Cool. Documents of some kind. You could always steal a glance. Alright. Another security plan. Oh yeah, like the one from the trash can. Spectator area should be covered at all times. The president's safety is paramount. Also covered in case amphibious assault. What? What's an amphibious assault? Precisely. But wait, something feels off. A bleed and dexterity build? Cool. I sadly don't know anything about Elden Ring, Siller. So captainships will have to be the wow kind of thing. Like cool stuff. Anyway, the date's different. Amphibious means someone attacking from the water. Okay. Cool. Why is that not the same? Oh, is it guide time already, guys? The dates are different, therefore that's the difference. Fudge! Whoops. No. Rook and the other one are in different positions. Whichever should you head next, your choice. Who, me? I have no idea. The two plans are different. Was the security detail reorganized at some point? You can do it! Thank you. I can do it. Huh? Oh, you're right. Yeah, we made some last-minute changes yesterday. President's orders. Why the urgency? Because of what happened the day before. The killer here tried to take him down. He infiltrated the security detail, posed as one of us. Rook figured it out first, but not before the guy got without striking distance of the president. Oh, look at him. Oh my gosh. If our leader hadn't stepped in just then, we'd all have been out of a job. But he made it, and our friend here wound up with a seriously twisted arm. Rook pulled a bullet in it for good measure, too. And where were you while this was happening? You were the first one I overpowered, were you not? Oh, that's embarrassing. Shut up, kid. Oh, I miss D-Killer's music, by the way. I loved it. I miss it. Ah, now I get it. Your neck has barely begun to heal, and you've already forgotten who I am. I'm disappointed. What? It's you! Busted up my neck so bad I can't even look to my right. I was somewhat astonished to have sustained an injury at all. A testament to Mr. Rook's skill. He was truly a master of his craft. Unlike a certain other someone I could mention. I'm just as good as he ever was. You were a pawn to his queen, my young friend. What the heck do you know? So that's why you remembered Mr. Rook's name. You admired his skills as a bodyguard. Indeed, while I was serving on the team, I learned the names of all the operatives, but his in particular stayed with me. It joined the very short list of those who have ever successfully wounded me. So that's the connection he was talking about. And that's why we changed up the security plan. Had to be sure there wasn't any more assassins in the ranks. The president didn't want anybody on stage he didn't trust, and he only trusts two people, me and Rook. True. Okay, heading to Stormhill. Good luck. The job was the least of their worries when he attacked. Doesn't seem the type to leave witnesses. Very good point. Surprising that he did leave witnesses. But then again, Dekeller's just that good. How does that explain that your change of position? Oh yeah, he switched over to the right-hand side. I told you I can't turn my neck to the right. Could only cover the president's left side. So I wound up moving to the right side of the stage. I see a bullet hole. That looks heavy. So this is what a president wears, huh? Must be made of something super special. Yes, to protect him from bullets. What? So it's not just for show? Of course not. This is a bulletproof vest. Oh, so that's what one of those looks like. Why didn't you just say so? Now I feel silly. These personal safety alarms are very colorful. Looks like they get a lot of use as well. I like the president. He seems like a thoughtful guy. For buying these for his kids, maybe his wife too? Why would they all be here, if that was the case? No, these are for his own personal use. Objection, Your Honor. It's simply not possible for one person to use this many personal alarms. Why, you ask? Because he is human, and therefore possesses only 2 hands. 20 hands wouldn't be enough to count the number of objections I have to that objection. Good stuff. I don't see anything else. So... cool. What is this? It's a bank of monitors displaying the camera feeds from in and around the plane. I must scour the scene and inspect everything that catches my attention. What on earth is this? Oh, that? It's the president's favorite plushie. It's a memento of something. Anyway, don't touch. But if that's the case, then why has it been left up there like nobody cares about it? Yeah, that is pretty weird. It certainly wouldn't be the first place I would think to display a beloved item. Wait, are those shards of glass underneath it? I thought something seemed strange about this cubbyhole, but now I'm sure of it. There was almost certainly another monitor here. What's the deal with these shards, huh? This monitor is displaying a feed of this very room. They didn't go cheap when they bought these, huh? Very high res. Oh, I'm afraid I can't quite tell myself, but I can even see the little crow's feet around your eyes. Oh, my bad. They're just the usual deeply etched lines, you know, on your forehead. If you've quite finished... These monitors are displaying the cockpit and parts of the plane's exterior. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Oh, whoops. I guess that's it. Oh. That's the outside of the plane. Most intruders cannot hope to approach without being spotted, but such measures would be mere child's play in my case. Whoa, you're saying that you can get past cameras like these without being seen? Of course, with ease. You have to teach me how, please. Are you taking on apprentices by any chance? Kay, you do realize who you're talking to, don't you? Sorry. Had to ask, though. What a great skill for a great thief to know. Unfortunately for you, I am not the type to take on understudies. You're not, huh? Shame. Shame? In what way, exactly? Okay. Even taking advice from assassins now. The president is on the other side of this door. And what a door it is! But I could get the better of it, though. get the better of it. Doors aren't there to be beaten. But look at how heavy it is. Look at that lock. It's just sitting there begging for me to try it. Calm down, Kay, and think. Why might this door be locked? For me to open it, of course? Precisely, for you to open it, of course. Wait, what is the right answer, anyway? What is this over here? Someone has left an inflatable boat on an oar here. Probably so it's ready to go at any time. Wait, but there's only one oar. You can still row with one oar, you know? Yeah. Stupid. I didn't do it. I'm a reporter. I bag scoops, not souls. But then why lie about your jacket and the laser sight? I just, knew y'all would think it was fishy. Is that really all it was? Yeah, you can see why he should be interested in that. Think she should open the door? Let's open the door. Please, you gotta believe me. I could never do something like this. I'd like to tell you everything will be alright, but just try not to worry too much. If you really are innocent, I'll prove it, one way or another. Thanks, Chief. I believe in you. How many times must I tell you I am not your chief? Oh, sorry, Ruffles. Clean forgot you were Chief number 2. That's not what I meant. Guess we'll speak to, these two. I have high hopes for your investigation. I do hope you won't betray my trust in you. Things are progressing well, I hope. There's no need to worry. Things are progressing just fine. Remember, I absolutely despise betrayals of all kinds. Oh, I remember that. We remember that, guys. Yes, I know. Indeed, you do. So please do take care not to double-cross me, accidentally or otherwise. I really have no choice but to do as he says for now. Can't believe I let an assassin onto the President's plane. You know very well it was for the good of the investigation, Mr. Knight. Don't give me that. I know what you really want. You do indeed, because you heard me say it already. I wish to know the truth behind Mr. Rook's death. But you did also say you were asked to assassinate the President by a certain someone? You seem to have forgotten that there are more pressing matters at hand. Gurk! Ack! I don't often carry out unpaid work, but it's not entirely unheard of. Arg! Fine, I'll get back to the investigation. Good. I'm expecting great things from you, Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, look at my badge. I must admit I have never seen one of these up close. It's akin to a license, correct? I too. No way! You have a license to kill? No, but if I must spell it out for you. Nope, all good, thanks. You can keep that little nugget of truth locked up nice and tight in your heart, okay? So even a great thief's bravado quickly crumbles in the face of an assassin. I guess we'll attempt some logic shenanigans. Well, we saved it. Oh boy, there's a light here. What do you think, guys? There's a lot of things here. Rook's gun, assassination attempt, 6-shot revolver, bullet passed through the victim. Where did it end up? Bulletproof vest, baby ear. Worst case scenario, we'll just, do all of them in order until we find the right one. Okay. 2 bullets were fired in total. We know this because 2 shots were heard. One traveled through the flag and into the balloon. The other took Mr. Rook's life. But there's a bullet in the President's vest too, right? How was that possible? How indeed. The numbers don't add up. However, there is one possible explanation. There is? After passing through his body, the bullet that took Mr. Rook's life and found itself lodged in the vest? In other words, 2 of our bullets were in fact 1. No way! He's right. If the President hadn't been wearing that vest, things could have been a lot worse. And he wasn't injured at all by the impact. But when obstructed by a vest, the bullet can inflict serious damage. Sure, I've known guys who got broken bones that way. But the President's okay. He's made of strong stuff. Sounds like he didn't even need a vest. Let's not get carried away here. I want that bullet ballistics markings analyzed. Remind me what those are again? Guns leave a unique pattern of grooves on every bullet they fire. By examining these grooves, we can use them to identify which gun it came from. Think of them as fingerprints of a sort. You can tell all that from a bullet, and what are we waiting for? Analyze away. Might be easier said than done. That bullet hit solid armor. The impact will have completely flattened it. You'll be lucky if there's anything left for forensics to find. What? I was all set up for some analyzing. Welp. Alright. Let's zoom out. Save again. Let's do another logic. Rook's gun and revolver? Maybe. I'll give that a shot. Yep, I guess so. The two guns are exactly the same, meaning it's likely that the one we found is also from Zhengfa. The bodyguards all got their guns from the Zhengfa authorities, right? Yes. Are they, like, super rare or anything? No, I don't believe so. This model isn't exactly easy to come by in this country, but it's certainly not impossible either. Boo! And here I thought they might be valuable treasures. Yes, it is something of a shame. Whoa, I just mentioned treasures, and you actually responded for once. I only mean to point out that if the guns were rarer, it would be much easier to trace them, which would have made them treasures of the evidence variety, I suppose. Huh, see? Everything's a treasure hunt one way or another, including this investigation. You thought so? Woo! You could say that. Alright then, the treasure hunting time. On with the investigation. She certainly seems a lot more enthusiastic all of a sudden. That's quite enough investigating for now. What is taking so long, Detective Gumshoe? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, have you solved the case? No, not yet. Is that so? Then perhaps interviewing another key witness might help you do so. Another witness? Who? You don't mean... The most important witness of all, the man on the other side of that door. He really intends to have me question the president? Now, if you would be so kind as to summon him, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop right there, DeKiller. You nuts if you think I'd let him anywhere near you. Well, Mr. President, I'm sure you are watching us through your security feed, aren't you? In which case, I politely request that you show yourself. That is, if you value your bodyguard's life. Grrr. Well then, if nothing else, we now know what kind of man you really are. Mr. President! Stop, you can't do this. Let's just all calm down, alright? Come on, detective, where the blazes are you? Eek! The lights, what's happening? Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth. I would advise you to stay very still. It seems I will not be granted my audience with the president after all, even with Mr. Knight's life as my bargaining chip. No, stop! Nah! Eek! Okay, won't get away with this, DeKiller. I have seen enough, and now I know the truth. Where are you? Where did you go? Arg! I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Edgeworth. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe? Sir, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Well, everyone's alive. I guess Mr. Edgeworth is dead. Aw, man. One's dead. What's one more? What's one more dead body? I must have been knocked unconscious. Sir, you okay? Are you alright, Mr. Edgeworth? Never mind me. He didn't hurt you, did he, Kay? Nah, I'm fine. Only just woke up myself. My head will be sore for a while, but that's about it. You can stop worrying. Detective, did you manage to stop the killer? Well, see, Miss Lloyd came running out of the plane and, she told us he'd flown the coop. We were too late. I'm sorry, sir. Bodyguard over there told us something, too. Seems there's an inflatable boat missing from, by the window. The killer must have stolen it and rowed himself across the lake. What about the cordon around the park? I'd called everybody back to the stakeout the plane, including the guy stationed across the water. No, it was completely slipped through our fingers? Not the best look for the department, but yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Knight, you're alive. Yeah, no thanks to that murderer. Oh, that reminds me. I found this lying on the ground next to you, Mr. Edgeworth. A calling card, marked with a seashell. Guess you wanted to leave a message. Yay! We got another calling card, guys! Awesome! The killer usually leaves these next to the bodies of his victims. But you're not dead, sir. But I could have been. Maybe that's the message. I can't stop thinking about his parting words. I have seen enough, and now I know the truth. I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Edgeworth. And now I know the truth. The truth about what? Roger that. I'll clear out here, sir. Over. What's going on? That was the president. He's coming out. Now? Oh my gosh, look at him. So he's the president of Zhengfa, Mr. Di Junwang. And you are? It's an honor to meet you, Mr. President. My name is Miles Edgeworth. Do you see his ears? Look at his ears. This guy is a lion. Oh my gosh. My opinion on Fortnite. It's fun when I don't care about it all that much, when I'm playing it for fun. That's the best opinion of it. But is it fun? Yes. Does Edgeworth collect criminal calling cards like Pokemon? Just that particular card, I guess, huh? Does Elden Ring work out? Bro does the Elden Ring workout regimen. He sure does. The honor is all mine, Mr. Edgeworth. I am Di Junwang. Your efforts on behalf of Zhengfa have not gone unnoticed. You averted something of a crisis. You must be referring to the Yatagarasu case. Thank you, sir, but all I did was solve a few local cases of murder. You are too humble. I have been observing your investigation. You are an impressive operator, Mr. Edgeworth, even if the killer did get away. It's very kind of you to say. He was watching through his security feed. Sadly, I must inform you that this is as far as your investigation goes. What do you mean? Hear me, foolish prosecutor, for I shall say this only once. Knight has appraised me of the state of affairs, and from this point forward the case will be handled by Zhengfa's police force, the finest in the world. Bro, is 7 packs? 7! Even with the killer out of the picture, they're still looking to get me thrown off the case. What do you think you're doing, pal? Nobody talks to Mr. Edgeworth like that. If he hadn't been for him, Mr. Keller would have... Detective. Forgive him, Mr. President, but I must confess to being somewhat confused. I fail to see how or why this case falls within Zhengfa's jurisdiction. You fail to see? Enough, puny prosecutor. You seek explanations from the head of a state. No, I say no. 1,000 times no. I will not explain myself to you. Now hand over the evidence you have gathered and remove yourselves from this plane. I'd do as he says if I were you, Miss Edgeworth. This can't really be the end of the line, can it? Case evidence handed to Mr. Knight. Why? Why let us come so far, only to pull the case out from under us? Now, you may leave. Knight, detain the suspect. Yes, sir, right away. To make an attempt on my life, to murder one of my faithful servants, the effrontery, the villainy. I didn't murder nobody, 'cause I... Shut your mouth, Miss Journalist. Answer me this. In the world already lousy with lies, with deception, with sin and iniquity, can we stand by and suffer yet another crime to go unpunished? I say no. 1,000 times no. There can be no forgiveness. There can be no surrender. Why, you ask me? Then I will tell you. He's hiding something. I'm certain of it. And if I leave now, we'll never know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Mr. Edgeworth, there's gotta be something we can do. Zhengfa's police force wasn't even entrusted with his safety. I don't know, maybe. Think, Miles, remember. How many times have you faced situations like this in the courtroom? You've confronted the lies of witnesses and countered the arguments of other lawyers. Has the critical evidence always been laid at your feet? No. And yet you always got to the truth of the situation in the end. With your greatest weapon of all, your words. Oh, it's that time again. Now let us analyze the state of play. Begone, puny prosecutor, or do you dare defy the direct order of a president? So, do it while he's angry, right? Wait while he's angry? He's not going to listen. He clearly means to drown out any objections by means of pure rhetorical force. When an opponent is on the offensive, the best thing I can do is bide my time and wait for an opening. As he said himself, he's the head of state, a seasoned politician, who won't open himself up to attack easily. I can't let him bully me into submission. I have to stay calm and alert. If I can read his movements and expressions correctly, I may be able to find my moment. My first aim should be to find out why he is insisting on Zhang Fa taking over the case. The board is set. Time to make my opening gambit. Mind chess! Commence! Please about the case. Did I give you permission to speak? No, 1,000 times no. Is he angry? Is he angry at this point? I guess bide. I am the leader of Zhang Fa. I have no time for your insolent back chat. I was simply hoping to confirm one basic fact. You say that the investigation will now be assigned to your national police force. I do. Now enough of your pointless questions. Looks like he's still on the defensive. Good boy. The interior of this place of the plane is the sovereignty territory of Zhang Fa. You have no rights here. Is that so? Could it be that our current location itself is significant somehow? You should keep that in mind. It could be a useful clue. Explain. Could you at least explain to me why I'm off the case? Imbecile! Cease your insolent jabbering. I need not explain myself to you. My reasons are my own, and they are not your concern. I just time to employ my clue. If this doesn't work, then, we'll know what to do. In the course of our conversation, I deduced certain facts from your behavior, Mr. President. For example, you seem particularly aggressive when discussing our current location. You smarmy smart-aleck. As you said yourself, the presidential plane is the sovereign territory of Zhang Fa. Relation to location? What do you mean by that? As from that, we can infer that you believe the rules of extraterritoriality apply inside here. Is that correct? Enough! Cease your objectionable whining. Looks like he's still angry. I'll try to bide my time again. You have nothing else to say? Then stop wasting my time and get out of my sight! Okay, biding my time too much. I think it's just random. Like, I don't see... Like, I don't see. This is a little bit too random for me. You can rant and roar all you like, but you won't escape my scrutiny. It was unmistakable. The moment I mentioned extraterritoriality, you became visibly agitated. He wasn't being aggressive enough. There are stages to it. How do you know? Like how would one know, like, if he was not being aggressive enough? Because he looked pretty aggressive to me. You think you're clever, don't you? Let me answer your little question. It's true. Extraterritoriality applies. The laws mean nothing here. And what does that matter, you ask? It matters because it means you are powerless. You have neither influence nor authority here. Interesting. So the extraterritoriality issue does have something to do with all of this. Heh. Let's dig a little deeper into the claim that the plane is sovereign territory, shall we? He was sweating, like Siller said he was sweating, he was nervous rather than mad. I don't know that. If I was sweating, I would be mad too. The next move will surely decide the victor. He may be the president, but nobody is untouchable. I just have to find the right angle of attack. Alright, I'm gonna save again. Get ready for a lot of saving for these moments, guys. You believe that the extra whatever applies here, but can you prove it? Do you even understand what you are asking? Of course. If I didn't, I wouldn't ask it. Have you no shame, calling into question the good word of one such as myself? By time, I guess? I have no more time for this. You clearly cannot be saved from your own foolishness. You needn't worry about me. I'm not the one who needs saving. That would be Miss Lloyd, the woman who is being wrongfully accused of this crime. Your chivalry is admirable, but it changes nothing. The right to extraterritorial cannot be denied. This is Zangfa! I'll need a clue of some kind. Let me try another tech for now. Surely you see that you have overplayed your hand. Nobody asked for your opinion. You need only obey me, nothing else. You dare tell me how to govern, how to lead? You dare contradict me? On the matter of Miss Lloyd's guilt, yes I do. No, she is guilty. She is the culprit. There is nothing left to debate. Let's save the game again. Extra something seems to be recurring pain in these games. Yeah, a little bit. Again, he looks mad here. Who else could have fired from outside the plane? There's no other viable suspect. Fascinating. So he's claiming that Miss Lloyd fired at him from outside the plane. This could be a vital clue. Extraterritoriality? I still can't say that well. You're the one. You must have realized by now what a massive corner you've talked yourself into. Worthless, meaningless bluster, some pathetic exploited by time, perhaps? Let me just, load the game. You must have realized by now what a massive corner you've talked yourself into. Okay. I don't get this, guys. I don't understand it whatsoever. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know, I don't know how the binding time thing works. I just don't get it. He is prideful right now. Do you know that for sure? Have you played this game? Do you know, for absolute sure? I have no more time for this. You clearly cannot be saved. Nothing, so this is just a repeat. Time to deploy my clue. Oh, there we go. I picked the same answer twice. Didn't I do the top one and then the bottom one and then the top one first? I'll have to look back at the footage. I may not be able to call the extra of the presidential plane into doubt. However, according to you, she shot at you from outside the aircraft, correct? In which case, extra could not possibly apply in this case. Your assertion is entirely without merit, and the detainment of Miss Lloyd cannot be justified. Evidently, they will always tell you when you have a clue to deploy. Okay. Ah, how could I have? Busted by a mere prosecutor? But I am the president! The president! Checkmate. I trust you won't mind if we continue our investigation now, Mr. President. Grrr. Mr. Lion, I hereby officially and unreservedly confer my approval. Consider it a gesture of the magnanimity, can't say that word either, and generosity for which my good office is known. Yes, for without noble acts such as these, unmistakably and irrefutably, for which reason we hereby... There can be no other outcome, for our goals are lofty and our hearts... People of Zhengfa, I swear to you here and now, this investigation will continue. All that when he could have just said, okay, you got me. Mr. Knight, if you would care to return the evidence.
Fair. His name is right. He is a Wang.
Yep.
Little bit. You might have the wrong, because his dialogue was the same.
Oh. Yeah, I think so. Take it. Case evidence retrieved. You did it, Mr. Edgeworth. You sure did. And now the investigation can continue. Whatever. Enjoy your pocket full of pawns. I'll be over here enjoying how you put them into play. Then you will definitely enjoy my next move. Mr. President, one more favor if you would be so kind. What is it? Could you please give us your testimony concerning the incident itself? Now you want me to testify? Whoa, that's your next move? If you want the President to testify, you'll have to take him to court. All in good time, Mr. Knight. He will get his day in court soon enough. But if a person of interest refuses to cooperate at the investigative stage of the process, they are obliged to provide detailed justification as to the reasons for doing so. That's... What's the matter? Is there something you'd rather we didn't know? Stand down, Knight. I'll do as the prosecutor asks. Thank you for your cooperation. Now listen, and listen well.
You like the Knight plays with his gun.
Feels like he could fire it off at any second. Where was I when the incident occurred? The stage, of course. Suddenly, Rook and Knight jumped in front of me. Then, bang! A shot rang out, and a plain, unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby. Not hesitating for an instant, my bodyguards tried to escort me back to the safety of the plane. And then, the second shot. The bullet went right through Rook and lodged itself in the bulletproof vest I was wearing. I guess if you look at it one way, the President is also a victim here. Yes, the victim of an attempted assassination. Rook was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. But that makes it even weirder. Why would the target of a crime try to obstruct the investigation? My guess is that there's something behind all of this that he doesn't want made public. A cover-up, huh? I knew there was more to this case than meets the eye. And the President isn't the only one who knows the truth. Isn't that right, Mr. Knight? Time to get to the bottom of this once and for all. Well, I didn't see an obvious thing, so pressing we will go.
Hold it!
And how would you describe the incident exactly? Oh, you naive little man, do you really think your silly, simple question will shake me? I was involved in a craven attempt to silence me, with cold steel, and while I was speaking to my adoring public, no less. Suddenly, Rook and Knight jumped in front of me.
Hold it!
When they stepped in to protect you, were you aware of the fact that you were being targeted? Was I aware of the... No, I was aware of my audience, nothing else. When I step up to the podium, I enter another world entirely. A place of rapture, a place beyond words. Yeah, I think that's called stage fright. I bet you were like a deer in headlights. No, 1,000 times no. Remember, every second, each moment is indelibly etched in my memory. When Rook and Knight stepped in, I was shocked, overwhelmed, taken aback. Then bang, a shot rang out and a plain unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby.
Hold it!
About the red balloon, are you trying to test me, Mr. Prosecutor? No, Mr. President, I simply wish to confirm what you remember. Very well. There were two very large, very round balloons, one on either side of the stage. Their deep crimson hue stood stark against the sky, just as the security plan said they would. The same security plan we found in the trash can, I assume. Rook and Knight left to my aid just before the balloon exploded.
I think the assassin would have better luck if he used silver bullets.
Oh, maybe. Or lion bullets. Are you saying this guy's a werewolf? Maybe the samurai balloon? Because it's not red.
Objection!
Aha! Haha! You say it was a plain red balloon that burst, but I strongly beg to differ. What? Take a look at this. I think you'd agree that it's hardly plain, wouldn't you? No! What? Who is that?
Mr. President, meet the Steel Samurai. I would have hoped you might recognize him. Especially if you were hoping to ingratiate yourself with the people of this country. Nah, just bad.
I gotcha.
Yeah, you would need to watch the Jammin' Ninja 2. He's amazing. So you see, the balloon that was struck by the bullet was anything but plain. It was in fact the Steel Samurai.
But the briefing mentioned 2 plain red balloons.
And there they are, right on the security plan. They do look pretty plain, don't they? Just simple round balloons.
Knight, what is the meaning of this? Explain yourself.
Yes, Mr. President. It seems the Steel Samurai balloon was borrowed at the last minute, sir.
Borrowed?
That's what we were told. Guess they only reported the incident to us bodyguards, though. Seems like they were a little trouble here on site last night. One of the original balloons burst somehow. So they swapped it in as an emergency replacement. Yeah, one of the stall holders happened to have it. From what I hear, he was more than willing to lend it out. Very happy-go-lucky kind of guy, they said. A happy-go-lucky stall holder with a Steel Samurai balloon to spare. Huh. They filled just the bottom part up with air to make it look like the other ornamental balloons. So while it was a Steel Samurai balloon, it was made to look like a plain red one above the water. Is that the long and short of it?
Larry?
No. Yeah, probably. Knight, why was I not informed of this? Sorry, sir, we didn't think it was a pressing issue. And indeed you saw and knew no different, correct?
Yes, I suppose so.
Could he really have mistaken the Steel Samurai's pants for the plain red balloon? So, Mr. President, struggle to see how you wouldn't have noticed something different about the balloon.
Of course!
What's that outburst for?
Now I remember. I could barely see the balloon.
You couldn't see it?
That's right. The wind was blowing too hard. The flags to the side of the stage were flapping incessantly and blocking my view.
Is that so?
Yes, those 2 flags. They were being blown back toward me.
There would have been a strong wind blowing right around the time of the incident, strong enough to blow the flags in just such a fashion. But does that conflict in any way with our understanding of the case? I'm gonna say yes, probably. Can't wait for Larry to be accused of murder again. I know, right? I can't wait too. Assuming he's in this game. Thank you, Mr. President. Your testimony has revealed yet another contradiction.
It has?
Yes, a contradiction that could turn this entire case on its head. When I arrived at the scene, the wind had died down and the flags were resting calmly for the most part. But if the wind had previously been blowing the flags as the President describes, a certain piece of evidence suddenly takes on a very different meaning. The piece of evidence contradicts the stated conditions of the thing. It's not showing the flags. Maybe this, do you think?
Take that!
Trajectory? Earlier, we deduced the bullet that struck the Steel Samurai balloon and the bullet that passed through the flag were one and the same. From these 2 things, we further deduced the trajectory that the bullet must have taken. And we concluded that our shooter must have fired from the left side of the spectator area. But if the flags were blowing as the President describes, our conclusions become quite different. No way! If the flags were pointing on the other direction... Exactly. Our trajectory changes completely. And if we trace that trajectory back to the source, we can ascertain who really fired that shot. Wait, but Mr. Edgeworth, that would mean... Yes, I know. We may not yet understand the reason why, but it can only have been one person who did it. Who does the bullet's new trajectory implicate as the one that fired the shot? Is it... you?
Take that!
The person who fired that shot was none other than you, Mr. Knight.
What?
The path from the balloon back through the flag leads directly to the spot where you were standing. Can only have been Knight. Yep.
But the guy's one of the President's bodyguards. Why the heck would he go around shooting balloons? This is absurd. What exactly are you trying to imply? That Mr. Knight, a man who has saved my life countless times, is my would-be assassin? Seriously, Edgeworth, we put up with a lot from you, but this? We're President Wayne's bodyguards. We're the pieces put on the board to protect the king. I'll handle this, Knight. Sorry, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, the wind was indeed blowing quite fierce around the time of my speech, but the wind can pick up and die away in an instant, can it not? Therefore, I need proof. Proof that it was blowing hard enough to lift the flags during that crucial moment. The first shot was fired around the time the president raised his fist. I have a piece of evidence that shows just that. Perhaps it can also show us what was happening with the flag then, too. Let's see... Oh, it doesn't show the flag. Unless that's the flag? Is that the flag, guys, right there? What does the flag look like? It's not even showing me what the flag looks like. Oh yeah, it's this, I think.
Take that!
Your proof is in the picture right here. This should be good. Which picture? Where? You can see which way the flag was really blowing, right here.
Take that!
Well, do you deny that it clearly shows the flag? There we have it. Proof that it was blowing toward you at the moment of the shooting. So that means our pal over there did shoot the balloon, making him the assassin? Mr. Knight. God damn it. Well, let's see if it is. You're the assassin. Technically, DeKiller's the assassin, but he's the other assassin. Yep. It's, DeKiller. I am so bad at figuring shit out. The worst ever. Mr. Knight is not the assassin. He may have shot the balloon, but the president was on the other side of him entirely. Therefore, he can't have been aiming at his boss. Yeah, besides, why would I even shoot the balloon? What would be the point? And watch how you answer. I might aim for something else next time. There was a point. I'm sure of it. If I can figure out what it was, perhaps I can finally put this whole conundrum to rest. Knight definitely shot the balloon. The fact alone changes everything about the case. Assassination attempt. Knight's position. Knight shot the balloon. This maybe. Why did Knight's assigned position change? I told you I can't turn my neck to the right. Could only cover the president's left side. So I wound up moving to the right side of the stage. But is that the only reason? Let us suppose the plan hadn't changed. The knight had remained posted on the left. Given that he was unable to turn his head to the right, would he even have been able to shoot the balloon closest to him? Could it be that the security plan was changed for the express purpose of popping one of the balloons? If we suppose that to be the case, the two plans are different. What the security detail recognized at some point. Yeah, we made some last-minute changes yesterday. President's orders. That's right, the president was the one who ordered the change. Which ones do I do, guys? I'm gonna need help here, like big help. I don't know which two go together. I give up, guys. I give up. This game's too hard. Knight shot the balloon playing with his gun. Oh, that's why. I get it. He played with his gun and that's what happened. If I'm reading things right, the president knew in advance about the balloon shooting, which means he must have had foreknowledge he would be in someone's crosshairs today as well. And if that's true, then everything else that's been bothering me falls neatly into place.
How did the shooter get a gun past such heavy security? And why would they then carry out the shooting wearing such a conspicuous item of clothing? Why would he use a laser sight that would give away their location in an instant? And how did the president suffer no injuries at all, despite a direct hit to his vest? And these are the questions that Knight and the president don't want us to consider. There's only one possible reason for Mr. Knight to have fired his gun: to create the illusion of an assassination attempt. What? Huh? Hi! Hey, Blue Thunder. How you doing today? Good to see ya. Idiot, do you understand what you're saying? Oh, I understand all too well. I understand everything now. Most of all, I understand why you were so keen to take this investigation off my hands, Mr. President. You wanted your real plans to remain hidden. How dare you speak to me that way? Is this some sort of sick joke? Oh, it's no joke, I assure you. It is simply the truth, as revealed by the careful application of logic and reasoning. Nothing more. The first shot was fired by Mr. Knight with the specific intention of hitting that balloon. The sound of gunfire and the bursting of the balloon were guaranteed to cause a panic. And then he fired again. He did? Yes, he fired 2 bullets, both of which were aimed at the balloon. As for why he did so, it's because the second shot was designed to create the impression that the president had been hit. So then, what's the deal with the one in the vest? I'm willing to bet that bullet was planted there long before the shooting ever occurred. So Mr. Heroic President didn't take a bullet after all? I am doing well, thanks. I'm finally playing this game. I'm doing awesome. But that's not true. I was shot, I tell you. We'll be able to verify that for ourselves once we take a closer look at the bullet. At the very least, we can expect to find traces of the Mr. Rook's blood on it, correct? Nerg. But you said it yourself. You found the shooter in the photograph, the person with the red hood. I thought I made myself clear. The trajectory points to only one possible shooter, Mr. Knight. Then where does Tabby fit into all this? She was simply one part of their plan. In order to place the suspicion elsewhere, they set about creating a fake assassin. The highly suspicious person with the red hood. I have yet to ascertain exactly how complicit Miss Lloyd was in the whole scheme, but I can't say with some confidence that none of the shots were fired by her. I suspect her only job was to point a laser sight at the president. That's right, then I was... Test with turning your jacket inside out the moment the crowd flew into a panic, yes? Thus making the mysterious red-hooded shooter disappear in the blink of an eye. Then when the gun and the security plan were later found in the trash can, it would have all appeared to have been in the work of an assassin so skilled they could vanish into thin air. But then the case would have gone cold. Exactly what our friends here were hoping for. Makes sense now why they wanted you off the case. Indeed, because the entire affair was a cheap ruse perpetuated by the president himself. Cool. Oh, look at him now. No, ugh. The presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Admit it, the entire assassination was a lie, wasn't it? Ugh, if that stupid chief prosecutor hadn't insisted on assigning you. Oh, I lost all my courage again. Ugh, how could I let this happen?
Objection!
Oh, he said it. That's enough, Edgeworth. Mr. Knight? Sorry, but I'm speaking with the president right now. Yeah, well, I'm doing my job as a knight and protecting my king. So go ahead, keep running your mouth. Perhaps it would be better if we stuck to threatening each other with words. He won it, would he? Nah, I don't need this thing to shut you up. Alright, my move. Question. You claim I fired my gun from on stage. How do you figure I did that in front of a crowd of thousands? An excellent point. Time for my counter move, I suppose. You had a certain something that allowed you to conceal your actions. A certain something, huh? Mighty specific. What did Knight use to hide his actions from the crowd? Oh, I don't know. Coat. This
this. Maybe this. This thing? You don't trust Knight with that gun? Me neither.
Take that!
My attach case? Yes, take a look at Kay's photograph. Your right hand is completely obscured by the case. At the very moment this picture was taken, you were firing your gun, and in such a way that you wouldn't be detected. You don't like to let the facts get in the way of a good theory, do you, Edgeworth? Shame you don't seem to have noticed. Notice what? That theories are all you have. Conjectures, nothing more. The flag was billowing in the wind at precisely the right moment. I had my gun with my attached case. We changed the security plan because I couldn't turn my head. It's all just speculation. Circumstantial evidence at best. You can't prove any of it. Nah. If you at least had the bullet that burst the balloon, you might have a scrap of credibility. Imagine, you could have run forensics to see if it matched my gun. But no, that bullet is at the bottom of the lake. You gonna go dredge it up? Hate to say it, but he's right. I don't have anything concrete. I thought not. Maybe now you can shut your mouth. Miss Lloyd. That. Of course, she could shed some light on this whole situation. Just need to get her to talk. What's the matter? Something you want to say, Miss Journalist? Nah, never mind. That's what I thought. Miss Lloyd. I need you to be brave. If you don't speak up, the truth will be lost forever. You are a journalist after all, are you not? Dang it. I can't stay quiet any longer. Hey, you understand what you're doing, right? I think carefully before opening that mouth of yours. I was so focused on bagging me a scoop, I forgot the most important thing of all. Real journalists don't lie. Ain't no dang scoop if it ain't the truth. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I should have showed you this before. What is it? It's the laser pointer I used on the president. But that's all I done. I never shot nobody. You stupid. I thought I told you. You squeal and you go down as an accomplice. It was him. He told me to do it. I was at Zengfa's embassy sniffing out a story like I told you. That was 3 days back. He comes up to me out of the blue, just starts talking. Help me out and I'll give you exclusive access to the president. That kind of stuff. But what about the gun in the trash can? That I don't know nothing about, I swear it. All he told me was to wear a jacket with a red hood and to point that there pointer at the president. I never thought for a minute it'd blow up in my face so bad. I'm sorry, truly I am. Thank you, Miss Lloyd. I'd like you to testify to that effect when this goes to trial. That ought to go a long way toward proving that the assassination was a sham. The changing of the plans is pretty concrete, since he admitted it himself. Yep, for sure. Arg, what's wrong with you people? Do any of you know what's good for you? My sympathies, Mr. Knight. Have you successfully removed me from the case as you intended? Perhaps then you could have kept your pawn quiet, Grr. So let me get this straight. You told Tabby, if you let slip about her fake assassination plot, we'll have you convicted for murder, or something like that. Of all the dirty... I said no such thing. President Wayne? Give it up, Knight. It's time we came clean. It's our only choice. So, Mr. President, you admit it? You admit that there was a plot to fake an assassination attempt? I do. I'm sorry. But why? Why do something like that? My popularity had been on the wane back home. I thought surviving an attempt on my life might give me the boost I needed. I know what we did was wrong, so yes, it was all lies. All of it. And the bullet in the vest? It was planted ahead of time. I wasn't hit by anything today. But then, what was up with the killer? Our plan got out somehow, and then he just appeared, hell-bent on turning our fake assassination into a real one. Hence the red raincoat, I suppose. He'd hoped to get in close enough to as the fake assassin to finish the job. There is one thing I don't understand, though. Oh, and what would that be? Why did Rook have to die? If the whole thing was fake, how did he wind up getting killed for real? That's true, and therein lies the real question. He was a fine bodyguard, the best in fact. He may not have been a native of Zengfa, but he was someone I could fully trust. Mr. Rook must have been really something to gain the trust of someone who'd hide from his own shadow. Sounds like he was as trustworthy to the president as I am to you, huh, sir?
I believe that's for me to say, Detective, not you. Mr. Rook must have known about the plan too, then, correct?
He wasn't aware of any specific details, so not really. I tried to involve him, but he refused.
And you would have done well to listen to him.
This is a tragedy. The life of a good man has been wasted.
What was so great about him anyway?
What's gotten into him?
He was just another piece on the board, there to protect you, nothing more.
Mr. Knight, how could you...
Who was it that actually went along with your plan, huh,
Mr. President?
Well, that pious coward backed down when you needed him to step up most.
I value your support too, of course, but...
Look, I'm your chief bodyguard now. That's all that matters. And now that that spineless fool Rook is gone, things are gonna change around here. Thanks to me, genius strategist, grandmaster, rightful leader of this team.
We are all well aware of your ambitions, Knight, but doesn't this seem a little imprudent to you?
Why, my plan this time was perfect, as they always are, and they always will be.
That's quite a statement.
Especially considering that your perfect plan was an abject failure. Yeah, no thanks to you. And that buffoon Rook. And how exactly was it Mr. Rook's fault? If he hadn't died, the killer would never have come after me. And I wouldn't have had to let you on this plane.
Please, Mr. Knight, you mustn't talk like that.
Fine, the guy died protecting you, Mr. President. I'm sure that's just what he always wanted. But did he die protecting the president?
Wait, I thought the whole assassination thing was fake.
Aw, come on, do I have to say everything twice? We planned a fake assassination, but somebody else came along and tried to make it real. 2 shots were fired, remember? Like you said, Edgeworth, one of them was the bullet I shot through that balloon. But the second, that wasn't me.
Oh, really? Then who did fire it? The real assassin, but not the killer. His plan was to come after the president with a knife. No, the most likely suspect here is the piece cowering quietly in the corner. Our lily white queen over there.
What?
Miss Lloyd? Again with this? I'm not your dang assassin. But is that really true? I for one don't believe it. The gun in the trash can, it can only belong to you.
This is still going?
As soon as I shot that balloon, I rushed over to help Rook escort the president back onto the plane. I left Rook here in this room while I secured the president in the safe room. When I came back out, Rook was lying there on the ground. This journalist must have shot Rook while we were escorting the president off stage. That single killer shot was fired by the gun you found in the trash can. So you don't actually know when the victim was struck by the bullet, do you? The knight doesn't protect the Rook, Edgeworth. He protects the king.
You want to translate? It means that his only concern was protecting the president.
Lose the king and you lose the game. Isn't that the first rule of chess?
But a win in which a key piece is sacrificed is a hollow victory indeed.
Doesn't matter. It's still a victory. I keep the president safe, I win.
Well, it's a bit early to be calling our little match. In any case, for this is where our battle really begins. I think I might know what it is, guys. I'm just gonna do a little savey save real quick.
Excuse me.
That single killer shot was fired by the gun you found in the trash can. Yeah, but this gun had 2. So you contend that it was you who shot the balloon and Miss Lloyd who shot Mr. Rook? Are you sure about that?
Sure, I'm sure.
Well, what you propose would indeed match up with the total number of shots heard.
The gun from the trash can itself has also been fired twice.
Now, why would the supposed number of shots heard from this gun differ from the number of spent rounds? It's simple, because it was planted by the real perpetrator of the crime. Somebody faked the evidence? Yes, and if you think about it, the reason for doing so is obvious. To ensure that whoever found the gun would conclude that the shooter had been in the spectator area. And in order to do that, they had to make it seem as if both shots had come from this one weapon. I get it, so that's why it's got 2 spent rounds, huh?
Precisely.
As we have already proven, the bullet that burst the balloon came from a different weapon, which makes it entirely possible that the bullet which killed Mr. Rook didn't come from this gun earlier. Heh, nice work, Edgeworth. That's some high-grade sleuthing. Why don't you get to the point? You come this far. Spit it out. Oh, I intend to, don't worry. The person who really shot Mr. Rook was... I'm guessing it was... you somehow?
Take that!
You, Mr. Knight, you're the one who murdered Mr. Rook. Oh, finally got up the courage to say it, huh? Surely not. Surely you wouldn't have. It wasn't only the killer who tried to take advantage of the fake murder plot. You killed Mr. Rook hoping that he would look like an accidental victim of the bungled assassination. With the president locked away in the safe room and the door of the airplane tightly closed, it was just you and Mr. Rook, alone, together. And that was when the third bullet was fired, right into your colleague's body.
Objection!
Wait, you're really gonna claim there's a third one now? You just said only 2 gunshots were heard. Wanna tell me how that works? Airplane cabins are practically soundproof, Mr. Knight. If you close the door, nothing can be heard from the outside, not even gunfire. But wasn't the president right next door? Very true, which means he may have heard the shot himself. Well, Mr. President? I didn't hear anything. But you can observe this room through your security feed, can you not? The cameras in this room isn't normally on. I have to manually switch it on when I enter the safe room. And that's what you did this time too, right? Well, that is... What's gotten into him? Mr. President, this is virtually, vitally important. Please, President Wang. Fine, I was busy hiding under the bed, covering my ears. What? Even though you knew the whole thing wasn't real? Yes, because I hate the sound of guns. Just the slight hint of that awful noise and, oh, it's just too much. Oof, that there's sadder than a pot of overcooked crawfish. Ahem. Mr. Knight, you saw that President Wang was cowering beneath the bed. And what's more, you knew from the monitor bank that the security camera for this room hadn't been switched on, which means you knew that the circumstances were perfect for you to fire the third shot straight at Mr. Rook. Knight, how could you? Could you really have betrayed my trust so horribly? You think I killed the old half-wit? You don't trust me much, huh? This is the thanks I get for putting my life on the line for you day after day. I want to believe you, but... I don't get it. I just don't get it. What is there to doubt here? What, you don't believe that the girl over there could have done it? No, because this gun isn't the murder weapon. We know this from the number of bullets fired. Yeah, well, how do you know there wasn't a spent bullet from the start? What? Someone could have fired a bullet from that gun yesterday or the day before. Then today, another bullet, the bullet that hit Rook. That's pure speculation, pal, and you know it. Maybe, but can you prove it's not true? Not with any certainty, no. You're nothing without conclusive proof, so come on. Single piece of evidence straight through my heart. I dare you. Well, what are you waiting for? Yerk. There must be something. Mustn't there, Mr. Edgeworth? We can't prove it, Tabby's. Please, Ruffles. I messed up. I know I did. I should never have done what I did. Not even for a scoop. But murder? No, that ain't me. Ain't a murderous bone in my body. Conclusive proof. Only I could prove that that knight's gun is the murder weapon. Wait, perhaps I can. If you at least had the bullet that burst the balloon, you might have a scrap of credibility. Imagine you could have run the forensics to see if it matched my gun. If we had the bullet that killed Mr. Rook, forensics could tell us which gun it was fired from. No proof, no case, end of conversation. Hold it right there. What now? You're not about to claim you do have proof. Of course I do. This ought to be good. Alright, bring it on. Show me this proof of yours. The bullet that killed Mr. Rook is the key to ending our little game. Well, what could it be, guys? Very well, my conclusive evidence is... I'm gonna try this one. Not currently in my possession. Alright then, thanks for playing, folks, but that's game over. However, it is here in this room. What? As we know, the bullet that killed Mr. Rook passed through his body. But where did it end his journey? Its journey. Perhaps we should cast our minds back to an earlier conversation. After passing through his body, the bullet that took Mr. Rook's life was then found itself lodged in the vest.
He's right. If the president hadn't been wearing that vest, things could have been a lot worse.
But now, of course, we know that so-called assassination attempt was a complete fabrication. The vest was prepared in advance, made to look as if it was hit by a bullet, which begs the question, where's the real bullet? I like it. A twist. This is good stuff, Edgeworth. Come on, then. Don't keep us in suspense. Any of the evidence? No idea. This is one of the ones where I have no idea, guys. So, it's in the teddy bear. Oh, I didn't even see this section. Here. There's something very clearly missing from this room. Yes, a prosecutor with some common sense. Take a look at the bank of the security monitors. Oh, I see you've caught on, Mr. President. Splendid. There are screenshots here showing views from all around this airplane, inside and out. The only external angle not covered is the right-hand side of the aircraft, and that's because one of the monitors is missing. There was a monitor in that space previously, wasn't there, Mr. President?
There was. I have no idea what my plushie is doing there now, though.
It appears to be someone's vain attempt to hide what is obviously lacking. But where did it go, and why? The why is easy enough to answer, because it was struck by a bullet.
Is the teddy bear the real killer?
I think it was. It was the bear bull thing. For if we were to believe that the bullet in the vest was the real deal, then anything that hinted at the existence of another bullet had to be removed. So, where did the missing monitor go? Where indeed? I believe that it must be hidden somewhere on this plane. After all, there wouldn't have been time to dispose of it outside the aircraft.
Detective Gumshoe, conduct a search if you would. Right away, sir. Mr. President, remember?
I have no objection to the search. Please go ahead. If it will help us discover the truth behind what happened to Rook, I will not stand in your way.
What are you? I don't believe this. Rook this, Rook that. Don't you ever think about anyone else?
The search has been authorized, Detective, if you wouldn't mind.
Pull the lever.
Pull the lever on this guy. Please do.
Sir, I found the monitor.
Excellent work. Now go ahead and extract the bullet. Let's see. If I put my hand in here and just... Come on, come on, come on. Got it. Well, would you look at that? Blood. This is the bullet that killed Mr. Rook. There's no doubt about it. And there you have it, Mr. Knight. The single piece of evidence you requested straight through your heart. Even you must now admit, if this bullet didn't come from the spectator area gun, then Miss Lloyd cannot be Mr. Rook's killer. What? No pithy comeback? Detective, have forensics analyze the bullet for striations and compare them to the gun we found.
Yes, sir. We'll get the evidence you need. You can count on it, sir.
Alright, let's hear what forensics has to say.
Our findings are as follows, sir. Firstly, the blood on the bullet is indeed that of the victim,
proving that it was the bullet that killed Mr. Rook.
Secondly, we found Mr. Knight's fingerprints on the gun,
probably from when I handed all the evidence over to him. Now for the key part, the striations. If they're not a match, then Miss Lloyd is in the clear.
Lastly, the striations on the bullet are a match with this weapon.
What?
But how could that be?
No way! No way! Oh, come on!
There's no doubt about it, sir. This is the gun that fired the bullet.
Wow! Heh. Well, isn't that something? Conclusive proof that I was right. What's the matter? You didn't think you had me backed into a corner, did you? Guess you misread the board.
I'm gonna quickly see how much longer this case is, because I'm looking at the time, and it is very much past bedtime. So give me a second, guys. Okay, I have seen a little bit of how much is left, and
This is the end of the stream. I'm gonna call it here, guys. There is still, apparently 2 cross-examinations to go. So, yeah. Big, crazy case so far. I'm enjoying it, though.
this game is quite fun. But yep, we'll continue this in 2 days, so look forward to it.
Then we'll work on case 2 and
See what that's all about. Yeah, bye-bye, have a good night. Bye, Hatchwolf!
thanks for stopping by, as always.
Thanks for your help, Captain Chips, and all the things. And thank you, Blue Thunder for sticking around, and Siller Life. I think you're still here.
And anyone else who's here.
But yep, be well, be awesome, love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow for the ending of Rune Factory Special. 4 Special. Bye!